Yeah, we're live now. I'm not worried about if you bust a bra out during the stream. That's just kind of it's part of cosplay, right? You need to have things attached to
It needs to work.
Yeah, it needs to work. Hello! Welcome to the Odin Makes Sunday live stream. Hello, my name is Odin.
Hi, I'm Felicia.
And today we're going to talk about all sorts of random things, and maybe if we're lucky, we'll actually touch the Proton Pack build, even though this thing says it's part 19 of Proton Pack build. I haven't watched the video. Yeah, I don't know what the next steps are. I think what we were talking about doing was taping things off and painting, right? So
yeah,
it's probably more painting will happen than anything else on that project.
In all reality, that's where we're stuck. That's what's keeping us from moving forward. We can't put the electronics in because we need to paint it. We can't put on the back because we need to paint it. We can't, that little doohickey we just made last week, we can't put that on until we paint it.
Until we paint it,
so
right.
I think we need to paint it.
Okay, sure. And also I know there's a hang up with electronics, not because of anybody else that's external who's willing to help us, but we don't know what the heck we want to put in there.
Right. And
I think somebody sent us a schematic once before or a diagram of how things went together, but honestly I forgot. So I'll need to do a search.
Well, we also have to decide which bells and whistles we want, and according to Ben Eady, I think the most important one is the Rumble Pack.
Rumble Pack, right.
Because it gives it that tactile.
It's doing something?
Yeah, just the immersive experience.
Which is cool, because I don't normally do that, so I'm okay with the Rumble Pack. Hey Odin, why have you avoided Rumble Packs before? Well, I didn't. When they first came out for the Nintendo 64, I ran right out and bought one.
That little thing that clicked on you?
Into the bottom of that 3-wing controller for your 64 that made it vibrate. Yeah, that was...
I remember it being so cool, like, oh my gosh, you can feel it!
Yeah! Yes!
I'm not old.
No, I'm not old either. Not at all. Not even old. Yeah. But the other thing I really remember about Rumble Packs and about the idea of putting in... Basically, a Rumble Pack is an electric motor with an offset weight on it. So when the motor spins, the weight's offset, it causes a vibration. This is how the old pagers used to buzz. This is pretty much how your cell phone buzzes. It's a little tiny motor with a little tiny offset wheel. It's how a lot of other things vibrate and buzz if you just put your mind to it. But you don't put those usually on props that are on set where you're recording audio, because Ivan would get really upset with you.
Ivan? Oh my gosh. I love Ivan. I used to mess with him so much. He's like, really? Necklaces?
Right. What we need is long hair, necklaces, and a crinkly thing around the collar. Yeah.
I remember all those issues.
Best stuff for audio.
Good times.
So sorry I didn't make the live stream last week like we thought we would. I'm buzzing. Am I getting a notification? Did something happen? Like if someone telling me is... It just happened.
Everything good?
Oh, Felicia, oh, Jerry Can Cosplay's here. As far as I know, everything's good. I just got a text message I don't completely understand. I mean, I do, but I don't know if it pertains to the stream or other things, so I'm not sure. But you guys can hear us, right? We don't look like we're being streamed from a potato, right?
Nobody's saying they can't hear us, right?
Nobody's saying we can't. Of course, Side Fox or Shady's, I think you need to build. Yeah, we need to build, Shady, we do. But, good, everything is good. We're getting, good, we're getting thumbs up from all of our lovely patrons. By the way, to all of our future viewers who decided to tune in and watch this older stream, one, thank you. That's amazing that you guys do that. And two, this first little bit of stream, which today is a little shorter than normal because we had a power outage and it took me a minute longer to get things put together.
I was diddle-daddling.
It's fine. This time is set aside to just talk to my patrons. I've got a number of people who support me on Patreon.com, and you guys are fantastic, and I really appreciate the fact that you're sticking with me while my weekly videos haven't quite been weekly. They haven't even made it seasonally, but I want them to come back. I really do. I'm planning on having them come back. I've got like 4 or 5 ideas, including another build that got shot. It just needs to be edited. if you wanted to be this slightly quieter time when we can see your comments more often and the unannounced live stream, then please check out patreon.com/Odin Makes and feel free to support me and Felicia as we do this crazy thing. How's that? All right.
Good plug.
Oh, thank you. I tried. I think I stayed on target for the most part. I think.
Steve D spies the giant box of Plasti Dip. We'll get to this
Yes.
later.
We'll get to this later. I posted this to Instagram. Plasti Dip through Instagram reached out to me, right? So the first thing you look at it and go, is this real? Wanting to know my address so they could send me a I can't remember what they called it now, some sort of box. It was like it wasn't a social media box, but it was it was a promotional box of some sort. So this arrived about 5-6 days ago.
Oh, wow.
And I've been like, all right, I want to open this up, but I'm going to open this up on stream.
Right? I love goodie boxes.
Yeah.
And in all reality, you're the person who introduced me to Plasti Dip when I was painting those shoes.
Oh, right. Those shoes for the Gonzo shoot?
No,
no?
for Smosh.
Oh, really? Smosh
It was back
shoes?
in the day. Like, that's the first time I ever heard about Plasti Dip.
Wow, okay.
Yeah. Remember back when you were doing DIY prop shop and
right.
all of that? And I was frustrated because vinyl doesn't spray paint.
No, it does not. I mean, it does. Spray paint lands on vinyl. It just never dries.
No.
Ever.
Yeah. And I needed something weird and specific, and I had to... Anyways, that's when I first used Plasti Dip. It was because you're like, just use Plasti Dip. I'm like, what the heck is that?
Fair enough. It's this goofy chemical that's toxic as all hell, but a lot of fun.
So, I'm excited to see what that is, because now I also need it for my project I'm working on.
I also got one other thing that I bought for myself on a whim, but unfortunately I left it up in my office, so I don't know if it's going to wind its way down here or not. But there's another YouTube channel I watch that I enjoy, and I bought a simple little $10 toy from that channel, and it's like, yeah, it's fun. But anyway.
Okay.
If either I'll have to run off to go and get it because it's in my work backpack hiding up in the office, or maybe it'll magically come down here.
All right.
Don't know
Maybe
which
the
one.
gremlins will
Yes,
retrieve it, kind
possibly.
of thing.
Dan Does Junk says the Lego money looks like two eyes looking at us. Oh, yes it does. It's just two zeros hiding behind the Ben Edie 3D printed Lego megaphones. There we are. Is that...
It's glaring now.
Do I need to hang this somewhere more predominant, Dan? Is that...
There you go.
Is that better? Maybe?
It's there. We appreciate
We
it.
appreciate it.
Mm-hmm. Has it been Plasti Dipped?
I don't think he Plasti Dipped it. I'm not sure. Hey, Dan, did you Plasti Dip it, or is that just Mod Podge or something else? I don't remember. You told me, because it was really shiny, and I thought it was very impressive, but I forget now.
Right.
I swear we were talking about something else before it took us off on a tangent. Now I forgot.
You had a toy from another YouTube channel. You
Well, I
got
had that.
Plasti
Yeah,
Dip.
yeah.
Sent you
I'm good on
that. We used to work at Smosh.
Right, okay.
We were just off on a tangent anyways.
Yeah, we're just trying to... One of the fun things about having a full-time job, trying to run a YouTube channel, and trying to get side projects done, which I was going to set up but failed, freaking exhausted.
But we're here. We are live.
But we're here. We're live. We made it happen.
Yes.
Oh, what was it?
Don't worry. We're just live. Shh.
Okay. Okay. What I'm looking for right now is a picture of the project that I was just working on for the past 3 weeks.
The one you sent me pictures of, because I have them right here if you want those.
Oh, probably, yeah. And these are the. This is why the live stream didn't happen last week. Yeah, that one's good. Is there one also with a scale? You can kind of see with that one.
Well, there's a person in the background.
I want a picture of me because it's all about me.
Oh, I
Well,
only
it's
have
not
that
quite
one.
that, but
Sorry.
that's all right. Oh, you only have that one? All right.
Yeah, you didn't send me one of just you.
There we are. We'll do that. We'll zoom in a little bit. We'll do this. Because everybody likes looking at pictures
On phones, on
phones.
their screen.
That looks in focus? Does that look in focus to you?
Let me push. Oh, you got it.
Two.
Okay.
So for the past couple of weeks, I've been working on making an 8-foot tall Emmy replica to be used at the Emmy Awards with a text here. Oh, good. Okay, we got a... Perfect.
I didn't know what you texted. I was just like, oh, you might not.
Yep,
want
I
everyone
want
to see
that
one.
there. It sounds like the Covert Instruments thing is coming down. By the way, it's something I got from Covert Instruments. Anyway, this is a 8-foot tall Emmy statue that I had made for the local chapter, NorCal chapter.
Your head's chopped off.
My head's chopped off? Sorry.
There you go.
So, yeah, she's currently sitting in the loading dock of the building in 3 crates. She's just under 8 feet tall to the top of the ball there. She's completely, the body is totally made out of insulation foam. There's like 115 layers that were individually cut with a computer, not by hand, completely. That made up the entire statue. The base is MDF wood with a little bit of insulation foam running on the top. And then a laser cut the texture and the words, because it's the National Association of, or the National Academy of Sciences and Television, or whatever NATAS stands for, National Academy of Television Arts and Sciences.
You haven't been staring at it long enough?
No. that was written around the base using a laser cut, which was fun because we killed the laser cutter.
Really?
Yeah. So during the process of cutting this out, I got all 6 of the large arc pieces, because it's basically a 42-inch. It's just over a meter diameter. It's like 44 inches diameter. This circle that has to have a texture on it, and so I'm cutting it out of 2mm craft foam. Easy, right? I get all 6 cut out. I bring out my 5mm plywood and start cutting the letters out of that.
What?
I don't. It's not over here right now. Oh, here they are, yeah.
Alphabet soup.
Alphabet soup! So I start cutting the letters out of the plywood, and all of a sudden the motherboard that's on top of the laser diode just turns off. It has a series of LEDs on it showing you that it's talking, it's connected, it's whatever else. It just suddenly goes dark. It's still moving because the computer's still talking to it, and the gantry and the laser head can still move around, but it's no longer firing. So I had to tear open into a new one that was sent to me that I haven't done a review for yet, that I'm supposed to do a review for, from Adam Stack. Well, thank you, Adam Stack.
It worked.
It worked, yes. What was interesting, though, with the new one, this was a 10-watt laser from Sculp Fun. Adam Stack was a 36-watt laser, is what they claim. It is a much larger laser head. It is a series of 6-watt lasers that all shoot into a prism, so the lasers stack up, and you're supposed to get 36-watt. I use exactly the same settings. I was like, oh, this will be great. It claims it can cut 15mm plywood. This is only 5mm plywood. I used all the same settings from the 10-watt laser. So I was like, well, that's interesting. I thought it was going to be...
bigger burn?
Yeah, bigger burn. Jamie went big boom, but it didn't quite work that way.
Maybe you could set it higher as a...
What's that?
Well, maybe you could set it higher.
Maybe. I don't know. I had it set at like... Yeah. It ended up being 100%.
Did you use the air?
Yeah.
Okay.
It actually comes with its own air assist.
That's impressive.
It
Because
is.
I tried laser cutting one thing. Actually, I have the project that I laser cut
right. We'll track that out in just a couple of minutes.
Yeah, but it was like burnt marshmallows. We were toasting marshmallows.
We totally toasted those
May
marshmallows.
have started a small fire.
It's part of the problem where we were burning white foam, something that Ben Eady was pointing out. The darker foams collect the light better and burn better than the white foam.
White foam toasts like marshmallow and will burst into flames without an air assist. But it's fun!
It is fun, yes.
Yes. So that was my question, if it had the air assist, because I'm realizing how important that part is.
Yeah. It has its own built-in, branded, ship with it air assist, as opposed to the fish tank pump that I bought for the other one. That totally works. I mean, it's a fish tank pump. Yeah, it's pumping air like it's supposed to, and the fish tank pump is still working. But yeah, it's funny. But anyway.
Okay.
Yeah.
The things you learn from projects.
Yeah, but it worked great. And I got a couple more 3D printers from someone I can't remember. But it's a Magician 3D, and it's like a 400mm cube printing space which is huge. Most are 300 with maybe 400 tall.
This is only, yeah.
Yeah. Where is...
What are you looking for?
Here we go.
Yeah.
400 millimeters is 40 centimeters. And that's going to be almost, 15 inches, 15 and a half inches, cubed. Most of them run at about 12 inches when they're big, right? So this one's 15.
So you could get like a gauntlet in.
Yeah. Yeah, you could get easily print large helmets, easily print, big parts.
Well, how big is your head? That's the question.
I've got my own YouTube channel. My head's pretty big.
You do have a rather large head. That thing is huge.
That thing's a little. We're pointing at the Black Knight from Monty Python. That thing's a little bigger than it needed to be. Now, what's fun is I recently. None shall watch. What's fun is recently I met somebody who helped make a custom 3D print machine for a company years ago, right? So this 3D printer is like 5 years old. It's been running, or 6 years old. It's been running in a production environment and it still works. They got it back because the company changed, whatever the company folded, whatever his companies do. They didn't know what to do with it, so they called the guys that built it. It's a 24-inch cubicle print space, which, for our friends, that's 61 centimeters or 610 millimeters, right?
That's shin guards.
Yeah, that's huge. That's printing out a pair of underwear easy, right? That's that would fit me anyway. It is a lot of volume of space to be able to print in. The entire printer is almost 3 feet square or cubed because it has to have the room for everything to move around it. Yeah, I'm very excited that I am close enough to this printer I might get to actually see it. This is from our friend Steve Builds.
Okay.
Who's live streaming right now. So if you guys are sick and tired of us, please jump over to Steve Builds. He's working on one of his Voron 3D printers. He live streams every Sunday, completely in competition with us. No, not really. He's a super nice guy. And yeah. If you want to see more 3D print funds, go check out Steve Builds on YouTube. Yeah, you can move that over.
We need to pull out the Proton Packs and tape them up.
Okay, fine.
Because if we painted them, we could add bells and whistles. Although I did want to talk about some of the bells and whistles.
Okay.
Because I had an idea that we're probably not going to do, but I at least wanted to talk about it.
All right.
It's been a while.
I've got Emmy dust all over everything.
Yeah. I'm going to be sneezing by the end of this.
Yeah, unfortunately. All the layers were cut out of this. This is 1.5 inches, but I had 1.5 inches. This is insulation foam from Home Depot. It's very much like the expanding foam. It's kind of like a sheet of great stuff foam, right, with reflective stuff on it. Anyway, when you go to sand this, yeah, it turns into a real nasty cornmeal dust.
Yeah, it's very gritty. Yep. So, this was one of my ideas that I had originally thought to do.
Right.
This is the stuff that you put on a doorway at a party.
Right. So this is basically for those of us that remember, this is sort of a large size tinsel from your Christmas tree or garland, but this stuff is 8 millimeters wide.
Yeah, I don't know. It was a party. It's left over. It's fun. And I was thinking we could always cut it down shorter. We
probably need to. There's an awful lot of weight there.
Yeah, it's way too long, but I thought that it would be...
Ear warning, headphone warning.
That is very loud.
You know what's funny? That looks great on the other camera here. Let's get out of the zoom feature.
Okay, which one? All right. Warning, ears.
What's funny is it almost looks like water.
Well, the thing is like if this worked, we could do red and blue.
Yeah, we can just get by red and blue. Go ahead and hit cut or whatever on that.
This is more prototype, just seeing if this concept would even be something viable worth doing, because you don't want smoke.
No.
You don't want...
You don't want smoke. You don't want... Yeah. You don't want to actually spit anything out of the end of anything at a con.
No.
And yeah.
But you want sparkle magic and shooting things. And so I thought that this would be like a fun option. And you could take a tube with this in the backpack, so it doesn't necessarily have to try and fit this motor in here. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it would just through a small tube go through, because
whatever's the connector.
You got a huge connector connecting the two anyway. Yeah.
So it was one of the bells that was originally in my head when we were talking about this.
Right, and I got excited about that idea because I thought it was a great idea, even if it only goes out a little tiny bit. I thought it was a great idea.
Yeah. So that was one of the bells and whistles that we were thinking about. I know we got to do the Rumble Pack because Ben Edie had mentioned that, and it just genius, like we can't not, especially
Ben Edie, genius. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And we talked about lights, like just making the lights blink on here, like.
Yeah, well, there's a number of little lights on this guy. I don't remember where they all are. But there's bar graph.
Yeah, the bar graph.
Yeah, there's a bar graph back here. Whatever.
Camera,
it's fine. We're talking about it. You guys know what we're talking about. Yeah, I'd love to have some lights blink and do things on here.
And we had talked about which switch particularly last week. You're like, should this even light this thing? Oh, it was the end piece we didn't even get.
Right.
Kids, we can't attach that till it's painted.
Right. So there's a switch that goes out here, a little push button.
With the light.
Right.
So.
Which somebody said in the video games actually changes what type of stream it is, which makes sense. It's great functionality for a video game.
Right?
Yeah.
So we have that button, we have this button, we have this button, and these clicky things, and so.
Right, and then
do they all do something?
Probably.
Because
this is false. Everything else on it would be a fake button. So we have literally 3 switches and 2 momentary switches. Is there a... Which one's the trigger? I guess this is the trigger.
Would that be the trigger? Or would you just click it on?
Well, there's got to be a... Of course, we may not have gotten to the actual trigger fire yet, but somebody will let us know, right? Which was the... Have we got there yet? The button you press to actually make it trigger and shoot?
Right. Got to remember the functionality of these things.
Right. Oops.
It's magical right here.
Magical.
Yes.
We will go public because I believe it's close enough time, isn't it?
Yeah. 11:59 by the time you're done clicking.
Oh, is it really 11:59 right now?
Yeah. We should be ready to go live.
We are now public. All right.
Dan Does Junk says, I think I heat sealed and painted it with acrylics and coated it with 4 coats of Deco Art Deep Clear Gloss Varnish.
Nice. The Deep Clear Gloss Varnish works really well.
Yes.
That is super glossy.
Steve D says, your TV award is awesome.
Thank you, Steve D. They loved it. Got it back here to get some more little fixes on it, and Shop Gremlin and I are seriously talking about how to improve the award for next year. Because the people wanted to be able to have an award that they could have in their reception area for the next few years. And
it's an investment piece.
It is, yeah.
Yeah.
And they got it dirt cheap, right? For what it is, they got it dirt cheap. But still, yeah, talk about how to make improvements for it for next year so it actually looks better. What was surprising? It was done with this insulation foam that's fairly tough, right? You can mash it and put fingerprints into that foam fairly easy. And a light score, it'll snap right in half. We coated the whole thing with Epsilon top coat. It's a smooth-on product that it's a 2-part.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, so it's a clear gloss. The idea was trying to get it to look more like a trophy. It kind of worked. I mean, it worked. I don't want to say it kind of worked because it wasn't smooth on's part. I did 1 coat and it was too heavy, so it's got run. So it was totally user error. But it totally did the job it was supposed to do. People were sitting on it. You got this base, and it is a stack of foam that creates this globe that's on the top of an Emmy, and people were sitting on it towards the end of the night when they have a lot of drinks.
There was not a do not touch sign?
There was no. The whole thing was there for people to get pictures with, and people walk up to it and put their arms around her. Dirty old men would grab her butt. Yeah, and then other people literally sat on the Emmy, and we'd walk over afterwards and look at it. The friend of mine who contacted me to do this whole thing, Toby. Poor Toby was freaking out because, somebody's sitting on it. And I'm like, well, all right, this is like a con. What's going on? What do we have to fix? And you walk over and look at it. There was barely, like, fabric texture on the paint, right? That was it. It didn't crush. It didn't make any dents.
That would have been embarrassing for the person who
Oh,
was
yeah.
sitting there, left their little imprint.
The other thing I was
we know
watching
who was sitting there.
Right? The other thing I watched when they got up, because we were behind them, it's like, well, this is good. Let's watch their butts when they get up. Oh, there's no paint. Yes, it dried. Because what happened? Final touch up and put the lid on the crate and let's go. In fact, we touched up the wings on site. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, sorry. That could have been hilarious.
Oh, it could have been so bad. But no, I didn't see any paint on anyone's clothes. I didn't see there weren't any big dents or anything really truly broken. The wings suffered the most as far as the build because just sort of ran out of time and became duct tape and prayers. So the wings were literally held on by toothpicks. I put the wings back on more than once during the night because they were held on by toothpicks. Sorry. It's amazingly held up. So the Epsilon's great. That's just, I'm excited to play with more smooth on stuff. They got another similar material they made that's a little more flexible, and it's designed to go over EVA foam. So.
Okay.
Yeah, I can't remember what that one's called. But
I wonder if it gives it that texture like those giant play structures that are foam. You know, at the mall.
Oh, yeah.
Because that would be awesome. Just saying.
That would be awesome. Yeah, I know what you're because like the giant trees and the turtles and things, but they're kind of squishy.
Yeah.
Ever so slightly.
That the kids just like tear and jump on and
Yeah, they don't really hurt them, but if they fall, they're not gonna.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that could be cool.
Right?
Yeah, that could be cool.
What are they using?
Hi, sorry. We went public, meaning we open up the live stream to everybody. Welcome to the Odin Makes live stream. Welcome everyone who just now tuned in, is listening to us ramble about what the heck are we talking about with this giant Emmy thing. Well, the first part of the video is set aside for my patrons. It's all set aside for members of my Discord to be able to tune in early, hear a little bit of interesting stuff early, have their voices heard easier with a smaller watching audience. So if you want to get in on the early part of this live stream, when it's actually live, please check out patreon.com/Odin Makes and join at the Discord level, and you'll be able to get in and see this early. But you don't have to, because this video will also be put up live. Not live, this video will live on YouTube, and you can always go back and rewatch the beginning later when it's not live. Mm-hmm. Yep.
So, welcome everybody.
Welcome everybody.
We have Star Wars Andy saying...
Ooh, Star Wars Andy.
Haha.
Haha. Sorry.
Chosen One, have you read the IDW Ghostbusters comic? It's a sequel to Ghostbusters 2 and the video game.
Interesting. I have not. I remember, I know IDW as a publishing company, but no, I have not read that comic.
That's cool.
I haven't read
It's
any
probably a
Ghostbusters
good reference, just because I like having reference material to
Yeah.
directly look at, but I haven't hardly pulled it up for this project. I've just been using...
using Chris's instructions.
Well, because they're tangible, they're here, and I only think about it while I'm here.
Yeah, me too. I mean, I thought about it yesterday with this. I gotta watch the video and get things prepared for tomorrow. I've been cleaning up so much stuff in the shop, getting prepared for this upcoming week with more plans that are going on, that even the simple act of cleaning up the table to start the live stream didn't happen until about 10:45 my time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a little crazy.
A little bit.
Steve Wagner says, "Hey Odin, you're awesome. Just a question.
Thank you, Steve Wagner.
How do you feel about making your channel for the first time?"
How did I feel about making my channel for the first time? Nervous.
Yeah.
To think about DIY Prop Shop, right? So that was the first time I'm going to present myself onto a channel. At least I was on an existing channel. I was very nervous and very concerned because I thought you guys were going to hate me. And then I put up my own channel after doing a number of episodes of DIY Prop Shop. So now I'm comfortable enough with doing the builds and talking that it's not as big of a deal, but it's like, yeah, I'm going to bomb.
What was your first project? Your very first one on your own?
Very first one on my own, I redid 2 Smosh projects on my own. So the very first two projects on Odin Makes was the Mario Kart Blue Shell, which I redid. Which that's
they're in there. They're dusty.
They're dusty as all get out. If you really want to bring the dust over, you want to see Felicia sneeze. No, we really don't want to.
I'm good off of that. I could see the dust from here.
Yeah, these things are very old. So those are the first 2 I did, and then the second one was the Samus blaster from Metroid.
Okay.
I made a quick one for Smosh that was all wood, right?
Yeah.
We did for Super Smosh Brothers.
That was a fun episode to film.
That was a great episode to film.
That was so much fun.
Yes. Oh, and I think during both of
Samus.
those, I talked about the green pipe that I made for Smosh, right? Because we made a big green Mario pipe because he needed that. As a set piece, I didn't remake it. What I did is I did this cheesy graphic to show how I made it as part of the video.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's been how many years since then now?
I think that was 17. I think when those came out, it was January of 17. I think.
You made everything now, so.
Feels like it. Yes.
Well, you have episode.
My
Odin
most
Makes
recent
everything.
Odin Makes everything.
So, not bad.
Well, I made a giant 8-foot Emmy. That's an upcoming video, as well as the ones I've been promising for well over a year. The Emmy, I think, is definitely going to happen sooner. And then I've got review videos to do, and I've got a board game item that I've been looking at for a while. Like, I need to make that. That'd be really cool. And there was a short list of some things I wanted to do. So
you're getting back on the motivation train?
I'm way on. I'm
Because
hard.
you had fallen off hard.
Oh, I did. Yeah. I'll explain more about that much later. But I really fell off the motivation train very, very hard. And it got to be really, really hard just to come down into the shop. I'm really sorry, guys. This is something getting a little bit serious. Things are turning around, and I'm definitely feeling motivated again. I'm seeing stuff pop up in movie trailers.
I also have to point out, when we were working at Smosh, we had 30, 40 people working on an episode together.
Right.
You have you.
Basically, yes.
Making everything. Editing, setting up lights, doing cameras. You have your little system, but you have to acknowledge.
It is all me.
Yes.
Basically, yes. It is. I've had help for time and again in the past. I've had a couple different editors, and I've had other people be in the shop to help me with either solving problems, painting things, or just giving me some frickin' company.
Came in and helped you pattern, but it's not like the production of making a YouTube channel. You have to honor that is a tough job in and of itself.
Literally, it's a full-time job.
Yes.
I mean,
Like, I've been hired to do, like, this much of it.
Right.
And get paid better than doing a whole kind of a thing. So I just wanted to point that out, that if you're feeling burnt out, especially a lot of the other creators who are working on their own.
Right.
It's a lot.
It is a lot. And once I try to commit to, yes, I'm going to do this every week. Hey, I'm making this much money by putting out 2 videos a month. That means I'll make twice as much money if I put out twice as many videos, right? This will be great. No, that's not at all the way that worked. Not even a little bit.
Interesting.
Yeah, I didn't even make half again as much money.
Okay.
Yeah, no. More content did not equal more revenue on my channel.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So. But yay, you're back on the motivation train.
Yes, I'm back on the motivation
train. That just is like half the battle.
Right. Yes.
From behind the scenes, you can understand.
Yeah, hopefully you can, yeah. And we're not trying to tell you, Jerry, to not do a YouTube channel. If any of you want to do a YouTube channel, do it. It's fun. It's it really helps with people skills to talk to people who aren't here, right? Because in all reality, I'm talking to a camera with a Thanos sculpt right next to it.
And he's mean mugging us.
Oh, he is totally mean mugging us with a
He's
lovely
so
helmet that Cheese made. Yes.
So judgmental. Just that Thanos. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, Thanos. I'm sorry. We should probably take a picture.
We gotta get back to work now.
Yeah, all right. But at the same time, it's a lot like talking on a telephone, because I know you guys can hear me, and I've got a chat window open so I can hear you back. So you keep that kind of in mind. That so you basically, I'm talking to a telephone to a whole lot of people. Anyway, it helps, and I got the same type of idea when I'm running all by myself, building something when it's not live. I'm still, talking to someone who's just standing behind the camera. So.
Yeah. Is it this camera?
Oh yeah, but I changed the zoom on it.
You changed the zoom on it? Oh, okay. I was going to show you guys what you guys look like to us. There.
Might need to back up.
There.
You're doing it. It still looks out of focus.
It is completely out of focus. There's no focus on it.
Back up close to the edge of the table.
Close to the edge of the table.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah, I know you're trying to get it to where, and it went dark.
It did go dark. Oh, there we go.
Okay.
There we go. Now we can go. So that's our judgmental Thanos staring at us next to you guys. This is our perspective speaking to y'all.
Yeah. So this is the camera. I've actually got a teleprompter in front of the camera that helps me remember all the things I need to talk about for Raid Shadow Legends. And then before it went black, over here is the Thanos that
judgmentally staring at us.
Which is a sculpt by Waltimus Prime. So anyone who wants to look this guy up, Walt is on Instagram, and it's Walter, but Waltimus like Optimus Prime. The guy is fast. The guy is great. He does have Hollywood experience, and he did the Frog Mom mask with the Frog Mom backpack build that I did.
Oh, really?
Yeah, yeah. Princess Squib custom ordered Frog Mom from him, and I've seen a few others in cons since.
Did that video ever get made?
No.
Okay, that's on the list of...
That's on the list of things I got to do.
Because I know we've worked
and that is a year old now.
Right?
Yeah.
We've worked on projects that haven't made it out yet.
Yes.
And it's just like, wait, is that one of the ones? Because I remember...
Yeah.
It was sitting there for a while.
Yeah, it was. And we started that project midway through season 2 of Mandalorian. Season 3 of Mandalorian has come and gone. Season 1 of Book of Boba Fett has come and gone. And the video's not out, so...
Anyways, your motivation's back, right?
Yes, it is, totally.
Yes. Ooh, we got lots of people here.
Cool, what do the people say?
The people are... There is a bag that I had that in.
Yeah, it's behind you.
There you go.
We have one extra.
Yeah. One little strip. Let's see.
Wrangling a jellyfish.
Oh my gosh. Thank you guys for all of these comments.
Oh, yeah?
Bye, James Allen. He has to go to work.
Oh, bye, James. Thanks for tuning in.
Adventures of Alex Stoner. Hi, Felicia. How are you doing? I'm doing great. Thank you.
Sweet. Hello, Adventures of Alex Stoner.
Marble Guy says, hey, how y'all doing, Odin and Felicia? We're doing great.
Doing good.
Side Fox 325. It's a great place to be. Daniel Knight. Hello, all you prop makers out there. Colby Herman. What's up, Odin? I do miss watching your builds. Your single builds. Just want to know if you're going to ever come or just watch some of the old ones. Well, support him and watch the old ones, but the motivations is coming back.
Motivation's coming back. I want to get back into making single builds. Honestly, it is a lot of fun for me. I enjoy the creation of stuff. But I'm not going to be going back to a new build every single week. My goal is going to be 1 to 2 a month. Yeah. Because I think I can maintain a work-life balance mostly by doing that.
You're hoping?
I'm hoping, yeah.
Yes. Daniel Knight, you probably wanted to know what mashup I'm making, right? Did not know you were making a mashup.
Yes, Daniel Knight, what mashup are you making? Actually, I really like mashups. I've seen some really creative ones.
Matt K. Klaus, Maddie B. Klaus, I don't know, butchering your name, sorry.
Sorry, Maddie.
Good morning from Adelaide, long time no see, guys. I know we weren't here last week, but we're here now.
We're here now, yeah.
And we won't be here next week, we'll be the week after. So.
Yeah, we're going to try and go back to, every other week should still work out, right? Yes.
You're going to be gone for 2 weeks, right?
Am I gone for 2 Sundays? I am gone for 2, no, because I'm here this Sunday. I'll be gone next Sunday, then I'll be back the Sunday after that.
Okay, so we will be doing...
Yeah, because I'm actually leaving tonight to go on a road trip, and we won't be back next Sunday, or probably won't. It's wibbly wobbly. It's not not set in stone because it's a road trip. Yeah. So no, it's good to be here now. However, I think 2 weeks from now, my good friend Jerry Fail should be here, and so if we live stream, Captain Splody might make an appearance. So if we do that, we can do that.
Okay.
The shop won't be any cleaner than it is right now because I'm not going to be here.
Louis Cossey says, hey Odin, what are materials to make and attach wearable jiggly slime that won't stain or damage flight suits?
Oh, that's a great question. So the first thing that comes to mind is a very old product that isn't made anymore, which sucks, but there's still other places you can get. Somebody at one point made a silicone called Flabbercast. Yeah, it was a 3-part silicone where, and they literally use this in like the Nutty Professor for making the fat suit. It was a 2-part silicone that you made up that just made your basic silicone. But then the more of part C you added to it, the more blubber-like, gelatinous-like it became, to the point where you could really wiggle it and it would move a lot and it would come back to where it wanted to be. And it remained looking wet until it got dirty. And it would stretch and move and look like, it could, if you were to cast it to look like drips, it would probably work. And then of course it is solid. It's just like a silicone jello, so it wouldn't it wouldn't stain your suit. So yeah, I would certainly look into the softest Shore B hardness. Thank you, Smooth On, for a silicone, and then just add a green pigment to it, because a lot of the silicones you can get are already translucent. I think you can get a couple that are almost clear. I think Mold Life might have one that's almost clear. I'm sure Smooth On's got one that's almost clear. And then, yeah, how would you stick it to your flight suit? You would probably be stuck, no pun, either casting a bit of Velcro to the back of the silicone so you can actually Velcro it onto your flight suit. So I'm sure you want to remove it before you wash it. Or magnets. Or stick them on like lapel pins and buttons.
But if it's a choice between magnets and Velcro, I have been Velcro
yeah.
Because the sheer strength of magnets they
not.
just pop off.
Yeah.
But Velcro, there's all these little hooks holding it on, so.
And as part of the casting process, even if you just put a bit of fabric on the back that has those little hidden snaps, the little tiny fashion snaps like the back of Barbie clothes.
Yeah.
Something like that. Some sort of small connector.
Cast in your,
Cast in your fastener. Your fastener.
There you go. I can speak. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. That's okay.
Danda's Junk says, my crafting has really taken a hit due to my job. It's hard to craft when my hands are sore and strained, as well as both my elbows, wrists, and bum knee, and also being tired almost every day.
Dan Does Junk, thank you so much for being a moderator on the channel, and I feel ya! Part of the fun of the channel not paying as much as it needed to is I had to get a full-time job. That also happened, last October. Just about the time the channel stopped putting out videos. Yeah, it is really hard to do a full-time job or a full-time plus job, because I get a lot of overtime, and then want to do anything when you get back from work other than just veg. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yep. Got Bernie Davis here saying hello, Odin and Felicia. How are you today?
Hello, Bernie. Also, I got a lovely little cough going on. I'm being attacked by the internal snot monster.
All the dust everywhere.
Yeah, I wish it was that, but no.
Oh, well then breathe over there. I don't want to get sick.
Well, I'm not sick anymore.
Oh, okay.
I've just got, this permanent postnasal drip thing going on that's just... It's slowly getting better every day. Very, very slowly.
Yeah. Jerry King Cosplay says, oh, I love making my videos. I just wish I had more time to make a proper go of it.
Yes.
Yes.
Jerry, another good friend who recently also got himself a new job.
I just was reading this question and then it jumped.
No!
Darn
you, internet friends! Quit trying to talk to us.
Delling Goldhammer says, have been trying to do a Beast cosplay from Beauty and the Beast. How would you go about the legs to get some extra length?
I'm going to be honest, you said Beast, and I was picturing the blue Beast for X-Men. It's like, oh, cool! Okay, Beauty and the Beast. Still, very cool! Get some extra length. So you actually want to make your legs look longer? Because you're really kind of stuck with some anatomical challenges without, surgery.
Well, what I was thinking is, how they have the high heels that don't have the heel?
Yes.
And it has that shape, and it's
yes.
a platform base? That covered in fur would be the perfect
Yeah.
shape for the beast's leg.
Yeah, it would actually.
Because
Yes.
you could add a paw. That's what I would do, is I would invest in a pair of high heels without the heel.
Without the heel.
Probably a pair of boots, because they do make them in the boot style.
They do.
Because then you'll have more support on your leg, covering that in fur. But yeah.
Right. Yeah.
That's how I would do it. It would give you the length of thing, and you can add the paw.
Yeah. You could also.
You also need to balance.
You do need a balance. Look into fursuit ideas as well. I mean, Beast isn't a fursuit, but is.
But
you end up with I think they call it digigrade. The way you make the leg look like it's got the more like an animal leg, less like a human leg, and you can put a bit of a platform in the bottom, and you got a false knee in the front. But yeah, her solution is going to be the simplest and the sleekest. What I'm talking about would actually bulk up his lower legs a little bit. He looked more like Pan from Greek mythology, but still, it could work.
yeah, because he is a beast.
He is a beast.
Good luck with that. I want to see pictures.
Yeah. I'm going to take this outside and blow it off.
Thank you. Nimbloos. Oh, great Thanos of happiness. Tell us your wisdoms. That floof. What are you working on today? Well, we are trying to paint our Proton Packs. Like, we need to get those painted so we can move on to fun bells and whistles. We haven't even pulled them out yet, but you just dusted that one off, so.
As much as I could.
Right.
We'll do one at a time.
Right. Robert Kraut says, wrangling a jellyfish. You need a jellyfish net from SpongeBob. Yes. Jerry Can Cosplay says, I'll give you motivation back, Odin. Collaboration with Jerry Can Cosplay.
Yes, we need to do that.
Is he localish?
Oh, there it is. With Jerry Can Cosplay?
I thought he was across the pond.
He's way across the pond, yeah.
Yeah.
He's one of my Irish friends, and I would hardcore love to do a collaboration with him. You know, we did one with James from Rebel Base Builds.
We did.
You know, but James does a lot of 3D work, and he could actually send what he did over the internets. But no, I'd love to. What we want to do with this is actually coat it with stuff that was supplied to us generously by Jerry Can Cosplay. So want that to happen.
Yeah. We have to figure out which parts need to be masked and then what parts need to get painted. But
right. I'm looking at this going, I wonder, you know.
can we pop them back off and paint them and then put them back on?
Yeah,
or
that's
is
exactly
it worth
what I'm
it?
thinking about.
Because it's like the whole, like, how much do we put together and how much do we paint? Like, we really had a stopping point where we're like...
Like, this is a clippered valve, and we're working our way on making better clipper valves, right? And so do I...
Popped it off or just leave it there?
Which we have. Or is this the one that was originally for the... Yeah, this is the one that's for the gun, so...
Yeah. So...
It definitely have some... the Mad Dash had just put it together, and now it's like, oh, yeah,
Oh, gee. I am still like a whole bunch of We're on top chat. We're not even on live chat.
And you're way behind?
And I'm way behind. Thank you, guys.
Yeah, actually, that's really kind of... That's a good problem to have.
Right. Could be worse. Burning Davis says, have you seen the new life-size Spirit Proton Pack, and what are your thoughts on it?
I have not seen it in... I've only seen...
Doesn't somebody here have one?
Does he have the life-size one?
I don't know. I just remember you mentioning that.
Oh, no. Salvo Image upstairs bought the HasLab one.
Okay.
But Spirit, who has always had the 3/4 size or
The
slightly
little kid-size one?
they're next this Halloween. They're going to come out with a full-sized one. They finally recognize that there's enough.
There's a market?
There's a market. Oh, we make this like $400 version. It's still going to sell. Yeah, it is. So, no, I'm excited by it. I like it.
Even if it was really janky, I would still love it because it is...
If it was really janky, it would be a wonderful base to start with to be able to just add your own custom pieces onto. But it's probably going to be better than that.
Right? So I'm excited.
Yeah.
Walker Industries says, at Odin Makes, for both Odin and Felicia, what was your most favorite proper costume to make? There's so many, right?
Yeah, there is, especially for you.
Right.
There's two for me, and both of them were the ones that I got to wear, right? Because it's a lot of fun to be able to wear it. Like the Gundam, I'm so happy with the Gundam. Joe knocked the paint job out of the park, so I'm extremely proud and happy with the Gundam. But Mechagodzilla is fun to wear. I don't think Mechagodzilla is nearly as wonderfully detailed as the Gundam is, right? So I'm not trying to, but because I get to wear it, I've got a different feeling about it. And way back in like the late 80s, early 90s, I did a Darkness costume. That was all, it was couch foam and ripped up t-shirts and latex. It's fine. It totally looks like cosplay. It totally works. The artist in me is like, yeah, but I did this wrong. But I did that wrong. Yeah. It's Darkness. I was 8 feet tall because I had 9-inch lifts. That was a lot of fun to wear because
Right.
the movie Legend with Tom Cruise, directed by Ridley Scott, may not be like a cinematic masterpiece, but the creature effects by Rob Bottin are fantastic, and I really like that. Tim Curry as Darkness in Legend is one of my favorite characters.
That was my inspiration for that dressing Courtney up.
Oh yeah?
Remember?
Oh yeah.
Didn't it?
Right.
That was what I was inspired by. I had to dress Courtney up as a demon, and she had to talk to the ring girl, which was Olivia.
Okay.
You built the set, but you weren't there.
I built the set. No, I'm trying to remember the ring girl. Is this like for a marriage or the girl from the movie The Ring?
Girl from the movie The Ring.
Okay, but
And
yeah,
they were
Olivia
playing on
Bird
a
for that.
Ouija board.
Oh, okay.
It's an old Smosh sketch.
Right.
But we got to have the whole...
You got the... Yeah.
It was an intense costume, and those were really fun. So, like...
Yeah.
I have so many costumes that it's just like, I don't even know. Like...
It's dressing Ian up like the peanut butter baby. That's your favorite.
Oh, that one was nasty. I have never gagged so much in my entire life, and I
Sorry.
didn't think that peanut butter would be so gross. Anyways, I'll probably have a PB&J later.
I had a PB&J burger last night.
Ew. Well, good for you.
Thank you. I think what we need to do with this, because we've got so many pipes that are sticking out and whatnot, is probably just cut a piece of cardboard that fits over it, that then just has plastic bag and paper over it, right? So it's just this thing that goes over it, so we can spray the pipe and then use. And then
What parts are we trying
off.
to avoid painting? Like this piece, should we pull it off and then put it back on?
This piece we probably should pull it off and put it back on. I don't think we glued it.
It's screwed in.
Yeah, this piece we should be okay. I'm curious how well
The paint will stick.
we'll stick to it, because we do have a
We're not
bit of
doing
tooth
paint.
on it.
We're doing
We're doing creature cast.
creature cast.
Yeah, and there's a lot of plastic that's glued on that could
Is
be an issue.
Is it going to creature cast going to stick to it? I know we sanded this, so it has
Yeah,
a little bit of
it has
teeth,
a little
but-
bit of tooth, so
but-
I'm hoping it will.
Like I know we sanded these. That's why they're all not shiny anymore.
Right. I think
Is
it's
this
just
going to get
worth it.
painted?
I think, like you said, this piece can come off. This is just a 1/4 inch, which I don't have a.
Well, we attached it, so
Quarter
we
inch
should be
nut
able
driver
to
right
get
now.
it off.
Yeah, we should be able to just take it right off.
We have to not. We put the whole like. How much do you stick it together?
Right. How much you stick together before you do it? This is, we could probably
Just find circles and pop them in.
just find circles and pop them in, or just cut circles out of blue tape and stick them on. One of the two. So this is the screw bit. I know you guys can't see close, but the screw bits that just fit into your drill, they're a 1/4 inch hex, right? That's generally what it is. Well, the screw heads that I've got are 1/4 inch as well. So if I take this screw head out, it actually just fits over the whatever. What is it called? Anyway, yeah. So that works. We
bolt.
glued it.
We glued it.
It's glued too.
Don't break it.
I'm tempted.
Right? Nope. It's stuck.
It's okay. That's
It's
fine.
stuck. So do we have to tape it up, or is this supposed to be black? I know we have the copper pieces.
Well, I think we'll want to spray paint. Probably want to spray paint. Probably want to spray paint with these off. So
we can reattach them.
yeah, so reattach them. They look like they're doing good.
Here, let's put it in the bags. The bit bags, so we don't lose them. Which bag?
Yeah, exactly.
Well, one of each, so...
I'm half tempted to just tape it on the inside. Just take a piece of tape and tape it right there.
Well, that's what all these buttons are, so we might as well just keep them in.
All right.
It's bits and box bag. Okay. Okay, let me see. Interesting. Dat Flu says, as a furry, I know about those fursuit digigrade legs.
Yeah.
Is that how you say it?
Yeah, digigrade, yeah. Digit graded.
Like Digimon.
Or whatever. Yeah.
And
yes.
I recently saw a video about it on Twitter by a fursuit maker. I would say that something like that will work amazing for the Beast costume. And Dylan Goldhammer says, that's interesting advice. Thanks. The balance where I ended up getting stuck. Didn't want to make anything that might break during the making process. Thank you very much.
Right.
I know you can always add counterbalances on the heels. So,
right.
like with the high heel shoe, you would put it at the very base as like part anyways. Good luck with that.
Right.
I believe in you.
And there's definitely a learning curve and practice with wearing those heelless shoes, because now you're going to...
Weight on your toes.
Yeah.
You just got to keep your weight on your toes. Walk on your tippy toes. J period says, yeah, Jerry, do a collab video. That'd be fun.
Yeah, it would.
Jerry King Cosplay says, we could do a challenge build, both do something from Trek set that goes together, and I'll send you mine to make the set. That's fun.
Oh, that's interesting.
I made the pattern for the, geez, her name just fell out of my head.
Yeah, I get that. My head's Swiss cheese too.
Right? I made the red dress that...
This is what, Lydia Dietz' wedding dress from Beetlejuice?
No, Star Trek.
Oh, right. Yeoman Rand.
Uhura.
Uhura, okay.
Uhura. I always feel like I'm saying her name wrong. I did the pattern for that dress, and I've been wanting to make it, but then I've realized, I'm like, but I have a long sleeve red dress that I could just wear that isn't having to be sewn or made.
Yeah.
But, what would you make for a prop? Star Trek. I know you don't really do Star Trek.
So this is specifically, he said Star Trek prop?
Yeah.
Oh, well, Strange New Worlds is coming out. I've only seen the first episode from the first season, but I was totally happy with the Christopher Pike stuff that they were doing.
Okay. So you wouldn't go original?
Oh, well, original, that is kind of, it is original series, but not.
Okay.
It's just funny that on my channel so far, of course, years ago, Star Trek wasn't as popular maybe as it is now.
Because there wasn't
anything new.
Because you've avoided Star Trek pops for a while, even though you are a Star Trek fan.
Oh yeah, hardcore. I've made a lot of Star Trek stuff in the past, just not on the channel because it doesn't get the views. Yeah, I don't know. That'd be great.
So,
what would I want to make?
right.
A tribble. No.
I have a whole collection of those.
Oh yes.
Started out as one, and all of a sudden.
Right. Oh no, I fed it some grain, and now.
Those are gremlins.
Well, gremlins get wet, but
Oh.
the tribbles ate the
they get fed? I thought they just-
triticale grain that was on the star.
Oh, okay. I just thought that they were just.
Well, they're born pregnant too. It saves a lot of time, apparently.
Like fleas.
Yes, like fleas. There for a while, Michaels was selling pom-poms, basically. There was like a key ring or just this. You walk by, I was like, that's triples. They're just triples hanging here at Michaels.
The tops of the hats, I always get the best triples from.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Jerry, that sounds like a great idea. What would I want to make? I don't know. Probably something from one of the new shows. I would imagine something from Strange New Worlds, which I don't even know. I don't know well enough to claim. Original series? No, I'd love to make a phaser too. I'd love to make the phaser rifle from Where No Man's Gone Before. I would love to. There's the translator thing that kind of looks like a lightsaber that isn't a lightsaber that Kirk and the Gorn talk to each other with. I did the tridimensional chess set. What else is there? A tricorder would be fun, a communicator, all those things. Mm-hmm. So, yeah. And it's like, yeah. Whichever. Happy to make a classic tricorder.
Well, there you go. Okay, I lost my spot again. Oh, well.
No.
I'm trying, people. It's jumping.
Well, it's kind of good, right?
Right? Someone answer Marvel Guy.
Someone answer Marvel Guy. Poor Marvel Guy. Yeah, he just keeps asking the same question because he doesn't think he's being heard.
Odin.
Which sometimes we just, yeah.
I actually made a sticky bomb gun from Dark Knight by myself. I was wondering if you can make it. Feel free to edit my templates if you need.
Very cool. You showed me the templates, Marvel Guy, on Discord, and I thought they looked great. And yeah, this is the sticky bomb gun from the Dark Knight Returns, right? From the Christopher Nolan movie. And yeah, no, it looked really good. I liked it.
Luis Cassi. You two might have everything finished by the premiere of the next Ghostbusters movie in December, LOL. One can hope, right?
This December? Maybe. I hope.
Try. We're getting there. It's like, I feel like it's the worse before it's better.
Yeah.
So why are you taping off right now? Like, what are you trying, like...
Well, I'm like trying to tape off everything that's foam so we can spray the plastic.
Okay, so we
right?
want to get plastic first?
Yeah, I feel like we want to get plastic first, and then we'll want to cover up plastic so we can tape everything, give it some time to rest, and then we want to tape over all the plastic because I don't think the creature cast is going to stick to the plastic.
Question.
Okay.
When we pull off the tape, will it take any of the foam with it? And is that going to matter?
It shouldn't. I haven't had a lot of problem with the... So yes, I have had blue tape change the surface quality of foam in the past. I'm not worried about it. How's that?
That was my question because just seeing problems potentially, and I'm like, if he's not worried about it, I'm not going to be worried about it, but...
And one of the things I'm remembering is Dan Does Junk was saying there's been times that he's just spray painted directly with the vinyl spray and everything else, and it hasn't been that big of an issue. Which I generally try not to because I got it in my mind that I use this for this type of covering and use this material for that type of covering.
Yeah.
So, you know, I still think I could spend I am going to spend the entire rest of this when I'm not talking about something else, putting tape on this thing. But, and all I got to do right now is I'm going to outline the stuff I want to save, and then I can put shopping bags and paper over the big areas.
Yeah, so it's going to cover the bulk of it.
Right. And these, the red discs in the cyclotron, these don't need to be covered until we're ready to creature cast, which will be, may not be this month. Probably will be, but it's going to be a little bit.
It's going to be a bit. It's
because, you know, road trip, going to come back. Don't know if I'm going to have time to get stuff done. And at the same time, quick polls. Anyone going to be pissed off if we manage to get this thing creature cast off camera? Like we come back in 2 weeks and somehow magically, it's been creature casted and dried and ready to go. And it's just all black. Is anyone going to be upset and we're going to feel cheated?
I'd be amazed if you actually did it.
Yes, exactly. That's the big one. I'd be just amazed if that actually happened.
Hey, I will take progress.
Yeah, right now I'll take progress too. Because I've been working on this and literally was feeling guilty about the fact that as much time has gone by as it has, and it hasn't finished. You know, we haven't, you know.
Well, this is why it's never been a weekly video. This
is totally why it was never a weekly video for me. And even Lost Wax Oz, who I'm getting the patterns from, with permission, he did it in 3 videos for the backpack and 2 videos for the wand.
Yeah, but his is finished, so if you want to see it done, go check out his channel.
Yes, Lost Wax Oz. Allow me to plug all my friends on YouTube.
Right. Let's see.
I've never met Lost Wax. Would love to.
He's in Australia.
He's in Canada.
Canada?
Yeah. He's from Australia.
Okay. I didn't know.
No, it's okay.
But eventually, right?
Yeah. Eventually. He makes fun of it too, which is great.
Oh, good. let me see. Anyways, I'll ask it again. Who's into the 3 lores of Samurai, Naruto, and Bleach?
It's definitely a chat question.
Right? Bernie Davis, how would you make a flame effect without using an actual flame for a flaming sword? Blowing
For a flaming
satin,
sword?
like blowing silk.
Yeah, blowing silk is going to be
Silk and air.
the most con friendly is blowing silk.
Silk with a light, because it's going to capture the light, give it that flicker and the fire feel. I would do a...
Yeah. This is like the classic Witch's Cauldron Halloween toy
Yeah.
kind of a thing. Or if you can...
He wants to do a flaming sword, so...
Right. LEDs and mist.
Mist, you might not be con-friendly.
No, it may not be con-friendly, but also depends where it is.
It's also not fire flickery, where
No,
silk
it's not.
is fire
Well,
flickery.
Silk is fire flickery. You can program the LEDs to do different light things.
Yeah.
How are you going to do it without,
Well,
so.
you do a wireframe, get the silk in the general
Yeah.
shape with the little flames, and then it would be the air that would blow through it, probably
yeah.
attached to the handle.
I wasn't saying how would you do it with the silk. I was just how would
How would you do it with the
It's a good.
Because the smoke, I couldn't imagine trying to contain the smoke and trying to make it look like a fire, even with the lights.
Yeah, I've seen a few Ghost Rider cosplays
And
that
they've done
pulled
it good.
off. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Because that's I could see for the mask.
Yeah.
Because it's leaking out. Different type of flame.
And coming out and
Yeah. But a sword.
Right.
I couldn't.
No,
a
that's
smoke
fine.
sword wouldn't work in my head. But
Okay.
if you can make it happen, I would be impressed.
No, that's great. So the flicker would, and at the same time, if you don't want to be swinging it constantly, because it was just the ribbon and whatnot, you wouldn't necessarily have to have the air. You could just be moving it, but not really.
No, the air would be what gives it that fire feel.
If you can just.
Oh, J Period says magic is fine. LOL.
Yeah, magic's fine. That'd be great. Thank you, J. Period. You could kind of go the toy route, and if you could sculpt out the sword that you wanted in whatever medium you want to sculpt with to have a flame look to it, and then either lay up fiberglass or some other clear material, and then everything inside becomes lit with LEDs to give the flicker look. That could probably really sell it too. And even if you did that with some ribbon as well, so you get some very physical flickering on the edges. I'd go that's
silk
tough.
organza.
Yeah.
Specifically because it's more crunchy.
Yeah.
Anyways, good luck with that. I want to see it.
Right.
Big Brock's prop says no. I don't know what it's
No.
DGamer 2099. Hello, Odin, Felicia, and chat. Saying real quick before going to work. Hope you all have a good Sunday.
Awesome. Thank you, DGamer.
DGamer 2099.
Thank you, DGamer 2099. 2099.
Yes.
Marvel fan, huh? Not
Danda's
necessarily.
Junk says no complaints here so far. So thank you.
Oh, good.
This is not the complaint section. Yeah, email all complaints to Odin at...
Yeah, thanks. Hey, Odin, how come you don't put videos out?
Eastern 57, Reflaming Sword. Most modern lightsaber soundboards will support NeoPixel flame effects. NeoPixel strips inside a styrene or plastizote blade.
Yep.
I like that.
Yep.
Very creative.
NeoPixel are just individually addressable LEDs on a strip. NeoPixel's a brand name. Blue Fruit Adafruit sells them, but you can also just get the WS 1862. Somebody correct me. They're the individually addressable RGB LEDs. You can buy strips on Amazon for like $16. So yeah, totally. And yeah, then you've got. Yeah, you can run animations through it, and that would totally work.
Dandis Junk says they were saying no to being pissed about doing Creature Cast off stream.
Oh, good. Okay. Thank you, Dan, for reminding us of what our own context is.
Yes, Big Bob's prop. The no was regarding painting the black off screen. Yeah. Because there's definitely...
We've probably asked a few times.
Right. Well, we're not keeping up with the chat because Yeah.
Well, I meant over the year, we probably have. Hey, do you care if we just do this? I mean, there's a certain amount of. I don't think we can. We haven't done it yet, but there's a certain amount of. I don't think we can actually do it on camera, right? Because it's a big noisy air compressor.
Do a field trip out into the back area,
yeah.
And then we can dress up like aliens and paint.
Oh no, we got paint all over John's truck again. Yeah, no, so.
It wasn't me.
It wasn't me.
It wasn't me.
That was Gonzo's people.
Okay, maybe it was me then.
Oh, darn it.
No. I'm teasing. Have you ever used one of those painting tents?
No, I haven't used a painting tent.
I feel like that would be pointless, because I might as well just get an old tent and get the paint on that, instead of buying a whole brand new tent. Anyway, sorry.
I don't know.
But
First thing comes to mind, sounds like safety gear. No, I haven't wasted money on anything like that.
I got new safety glasses.
Oh, yeah? Mm-hmm. Oh, that's cool.
I was excited about them because they're not giant and falling off my head.
Yes, that should be something.
Apparently I have a child-size head, and now they have the little safety things on the sides.
Well, those actually those look good.
Right?
Yeah.
So I brought them here so that I don't have to have the giant ones that I have to pay for my face.
Right? Sorry.
Although these are pretty cool, and I
Those are
absolutely
very cool,
love them.
yeah.
But again,
They're
even
just
without the
huge.
giant things, it doesn't.
Yeah. And how did these fit? Are those also too big?
These ones, no, they're not too big. They're just. These ones aren't too big, and they cover my face, and I like them.
Yeah.
But I saw these, and they were $1, so I got them. But safety gear. I invested a whole $1 into it.
PPE.
PPE. There we go. Trying to slowly be safer than sorry.
That would be that'd be a good plan.
Yeah. We got Dad's DIY garage saying hello from Berlin. Well, hello in Berlin.
Well, hello back to you, Berlin. That's cool.
Right?
Not gonna lie, I love the. I always enjoyed looking at maps. I always enjoyed reading about other countries and that old thing called an encyclopedia. Remember when the internet was hardbound every year and it was just called the encyclopedia? And so I get a big kick out of talking to people who are not from the country I live in. I think it's really cool. So hi, that's really cool. Hello.
It's crazy that it's a global audience.
It is. Oh, hey, speaking of not quite global, but I got a text from Jeff Bright today.
Who's that?
Jeff Bright is the runner of Creators Con, which was the con I did with SKS Props and Evil Dead.
Oh yeah, the one where you were geeking out. I got to hang out with all the creators. Okay.
This happened in Oklahoma.
2 years
about
ago.
A year ago, I think. I think it was just a year ago.
Okay.
And the next, and he's had another one since, was just Evil Ted in Colorado. And now Creators Con is going to have one in September, I believe it is, with me in Lafayette, Louisiana. I've talked about it before, but progress has continued to the con. So at this point, vendors have sold out. Jeff is saying that he wants to get together with me to establish air travel. So this is pretty committed. We're buying plane tickets. And he says at this point, the only thing that's going to stop the con is a hurricane. So something like that. So yeah, it's Lafayette, Louisiana, right? It's Louisiana, not Georgia, right? It's Louisiana. He sent me a flyer. I suppose I should look at it. And that's coming up in September. So, and I know, if I remember correctly, and he's not watching today, I believe Cheeseaholic from Discord, was once again, because he had warning, first one in there to buy the first ticket. And it's going to be a 10-hour drive for Cheese to come down to the con.
As long as the cheese doesn't stand alone.
The cheese does not stand alone, no. But Cheese is a really awesome guy.
Right? That's awesome. That's exciting.
It is. I'm very excited about getting to go.
Adventures coming up.
Yes.
And you get to geek out with all your friends.
Yes.
I know you've been talking about Evil Ted since I met you.
Right. And I finally got to meet him a couple of times for a couple of cons at Silicon and then at Creators Con. It was great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This Evil Ted has been famous.
Infamous.
Infamous for a while now. Yes. He has a really cool cone pattern, apparently.
Yeah.
And sphere patterns.
Sphere pattern, yes, he does.
And good basics. So check out his basics.
Definitely.
To get going.
Yes.
Because every time I'm like, oh, I need to make this. And you're like, let me look up Evil Ted's cones.
Here's Evil Ted Smith's pattern, yes.
Evil Ted. Evil
Ted. Yeah, so definitely Evil Ted Smith. Right here on YouTube, Evil Ted. Yet another one of our creative friends, my creative friends, whichever you want to look at it, who it's happened to a lot of video creators, had to go get a job. So Ted is actually working at a prop house in Hollywood again, and is still doing videos, but they're not nearly as often. And he's been working on, I think it's called A Sister of Mercy. It's a Warhammer 40K cosplay.
Oh, fun.
Yeah, so he's been building big 40K things. And we were talking hardcore about getting together and doing a 40K build. And then last year happened for me, which was a really weird year. So, yeah, hopefully. I don't think I've upset Ted, but I kind of stopped talking about it, and it wasn't really fair to him, because, anyway.
Yeah.
Stuff.
Strictly Games says, I joined his Facebook group.
Yes. Evil Ted's Foam Fanatics, I think it is.
Daniel Knight, the only thing I saw today on his live stream is the 2.0 version of Evil Ted's neck pattern.
Oh, okay.
What are we talking about? Big props. I've been to the hospital because of PPE. I got an earplug stuck. Ew! Sorry, I just was like...
Yeah. Hey, there we are. Let's make SETI eels from SETI Alpha 5. This is SETI Alpha. It's a 5 or 6. Now I'm forgetting which one it was.
When I was a little kid, I got a bean stuck up my nose. You know, because kids are stupid.
Yeah.
Now
okay.
I'm like imagining the ear. Ooh,
yeah,
can we not?
Yeah, okay.
Sorry.
And we're back on to happier things.
I'm officially queasy. Steve D says you could always record yourself spraying the creature casts.
This is true.
A stick-in unedited version up on your YouTube, so.
And this is true.
We could probably, start the live stream with the recorded. This is us spraying. But at that point, if we have the cameras out there, we might as well just do it live.
You'd say that, yeah.
You'd think. I don't know. We'll see. But I do know that is a step that has to be outside.
That is a set that has to be outside.
Because
it is being sprayed with an air gun. And Creature Cast is a neoprene-based product. It's a water-based neoprene latex alternative. Neoprene rubber is a synthetic rubber, which I'm excited that
it's what wetsuits are made out of.
Yeah, exactly. The neoprenes that I got here all hardened to different consistencies. So I've got one that's actually hard. I've got 2 semi-rigid, which is what we're going to use on this, I think, or we're going to use hard, whichever. And
I think we were
then I got one.
try for the hard because we wanted to see if we could add some.
So we'll use hard on this.
Because I know we talked about.
Yeah.
But
then I got a suit build that I want to do that I want to use the latex-like one on.
Yeah,
so.
Because you want. What suit are you trying to make? Sorry, I'm just curious.
No, that's okay. Actually, one that I've got a secret project. So, unfortunately, and me talking about building a suit and
you can't say it
I'm not
live
supposed
because
to say
then
it live,
you will get.
I'll have a disappointed individual that asks me for help.
Well, there you go. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I was just gonna say then you committing yourself live in front of people, so we got
who asked me for help 2 years ago. So let me let you know that it isn't like this is something that just happened last week. No. This individual asked me 2 years ago to help him with this idea, and it's like, oh yeah, I should be able to do that. Yeah.
Dad's DIY Garage says, come to Berlin and you will get a personal tour.
Sweet.
Right?
There's 2 or 3 channels that I know of in Germany anyway, and which is a wee little country, right? Germany's not very big at all.
Well, we have Stefan Keller, who's also hello from good old Journey.
Oh, sweet.
Germany, sorry. Journey. Just keep on believing.
Do. Don't stop believing.
Yeah. Pixlar saying, hey. Hi, Pixlar.
Hey.
I can ruin anyone's name. Steve D wants to know, do we have any posts to open today?
We do have post open today.
Eventually.
Is it 1 o'clock? Is Steve D trying to get us on task?
We're 5 minutes ahead.
Okay, all right.
I'm not doing anything but reading comments while you're sitting here taping, but
Progress is happening. You know,
Yeah.
we've done this, and then you also have a side project that we talked about bringing up. And
well, I have a slide project that I was going to get his help on, and he's like, we should just show it on the
on the live stream,
live stream. So
we can.
we can, yeah. This was the laser cut project that I was working on. My very first laser cutting things, marshmallow toasting, you know.
Yep. This is when we were figuring out that, white foam doesn't laser very well because it diffuses the light instead of just collecting it and burning.
Yeah. So I was working on Little Mermaid seashells.
Yeah.
So,
They could also be Valkyrie wings, right? They're just like this.
yeah. But working on Little Mermaid seashells, couple things that I learned about. Ta-da, look at this.
It's
My favorite rotary tool. But there's one thing
oh right. I had an idea.
I needed your help with.
Yes.
This is so.
It's right down here, right up against this. Is
Oh,
so
for the-
focus. If you want.
There we go. Camera 2.
Is that in focus? Because my eyes are not.
Nah, it's close enough. But
All right.
so this rotary tool.
So this Ryobi branded rotary tool has their quick change call out on the end.
And I can't figure out how to work the mechanism. And I feel like an idiot every time that I try to change the top because it just gets so gosh darn tight.
It does. All rotary tools have some sort of a brake that you have to press that keeps it from turning. So there it is. It went into place. So now by depressing this button, this no longer turns and that'll allow me to undo the collet, right? This is the idea. Now with the Ryobi one, especially when they're new, they're really stiff and not easy to change. They are not. It's quick change because you're not using a wrench, but it's not. Well, it actually kind of ratchets a little bit.
Yeah.
But it's not.
But I end up taking off the whole top instead of loosening it up.
Yeah, I believe that.
Here, I'm gonna get out of
No,
that
I
thing.
totally believe that.
But that's the problem is like I start to take it off and instead of loosening it up,
Right.
I end up just taking off the whole top. And it's frustrating. So
That is frustrating.
I feel like I'm doing it wrong, so I brought it in to see if it was what I was doing or if it was anyways.
Yeah. No, I'm hearing you. I'm actually looking for something that I just found and moved, but now
That
I'm
was
not
out
sure.
here a while ago.
Yeah, it was out here like less than a week ago.
Yeah, so
It's one of those things like, oh, I need that. This is exactly what we were just talking about.
yeah. It's one of those things, is it user error or is it I genuinely feel like I don't
With these, it's a little of both.
Okay.
Well, it's not user error necessarily. I shouldn't blame it on you. I don't think this is the best design. It works, but it almost needs to be broken in, which is really weird because when you first do it, it is so stiff. It is not.
I can't get it to tighten up and I don't know what I'm doing wrong.
Okay.
It's not moving either direction.
Not moving either direction now. So
Either
I got
direction.
it locked up. All right.
Are you taking off the whole top now? Because that's what I would
Yes,
always run into.
Yep. Totally am. Okay. Give me this box.
Yes, because I absolutely love everything about this. I like the aluminum handle. My favorite thing is this foot. Like,
The foot pedal?
the foot pedal is amazing because I can go slow when I get into the parts that I don't want to just chunk everything off.
Here we
Like
go.
getting into the crevices. I can control the speed. I genuinely liked working with this, and once I
Yeah.
figured out how to get this head attached, I was able to get a lot of work done. But it took me like
No, it takes a long time. I hear you, and yeah.
great tool, but I feel I can't do the heads. Like I can't switch them out easily, and I don't even know how to tighten this on, and I've been trying.
So a lot of these tools come with the classic cullet. So this is called, it's a cullet. It's a little collar piece,
Okay.
right? And this is the quick change one that's got the ratcheting thing, and it's a Ryobi's design. And it does work. I got it to work better on mine. But the original ones, like some of the original rotary tools that we all remember, have one that you actually use a little wrench for.
Sorry.
It's okay. So if we just remove this entirely, right? Because that's the whole piece. This is the bit that spins. I know it's a long shot. You guys can't see it. So if you want,
Camera 2.
yeah. So here's the handle. This is the ratcheting collet that I've now removed. Just screwed off and removed, so I can set this aside. And I've got the what is this? This is basically, I don't know what this is called. This isn't the mandrel. The mandrel's anyway. This part goes in first. This has got notches in it, so when you tighten it up, it's able to squeeze together and grip the post you put in. Then you put this piece over it. And now it's literally doing the same thing. There it goes. Finally got it tight enough. But when you want to undo it, this side and this side are flat, and there's a little wrench that goes over it, and now you got a tool you can just undo. And would you rather have that style instead of the ratcheting one? Because some of these tools came with both. I don't think all of them do anymore, but some did.
This one only came with that one.
Okay.
Yeah. Because otherwise I would have
You've gone for this one immediately.
Right? I would have I was like, what am I doing wrong? Is it me?
No, not really. It's a fine design, but it's like version 1, and it's not.
I have the wrench though, because
So you do have one of these wrenches?
I have one of those wrenches. It didn't work with this top though.
Oh, okay.
But I do have the wrench because the
'Cause
Ryobi kit.
As long as this is the right brand. Yeah. No. Yeah, there it goes. It fits.
Yeah, because I got the little set from Ryobi, and I switched out the heads. That's where I got this head from.
Gotcha.
And this is the best one to use for the foam.
Absolutely.
Especially since I'm just going to be sealing the foam and not covering it in fabric.
Right.
But originally I was going to try and use a different head to just like really debulk it, but then I was like, no, this is the right tool. I'm glad that I couldn't change the head. But at the same time, I was just feeling like I didn't know what I was doing while using the tool. But
it's just not easy.
I was glad that it wasn't just a me problem.
No, it's not. It's totally not. And yeah, so this is a grinding stone. They come in a couple of different colors. The color represents the grit, like on a sandpaper. I really like this like bullet shaped or lipstick shaped one.
Yeah, because
it gets in, but there's one that's a cylinder, and that was actually Joe's favorite. Was this? It's a pure cylinder, but it has a hard edge at the top.
So you get gouges.
I gouge because of the way I move.
Yeah.
Joe was fine to do it without, but he's used to, I guess, smaller projects, or he has better control.
Yeah.
This one worked well for me, and I was able to get. I could really gradually work things down and not gouge stuff up.
Yeah. So I'm still working on it, sanding it, but.
And the really fun thing, using a rotary tool with foam, what I have found, there is a direction that the tool rotates. And if you picture it like tires in a car and you want the tool to run along the foam, it still takes materials off as you're moving in that direction, which is pretty much as a right hand moving away from you.
With the
rotation of the tool. Because when you counter rotate with it, it'll actually grip the foam and sometimes dig into it, and now you're really in trouble. Yeah, at least that's what happened to me. Your mileage may vary.
Right. It's a learning curve, that's for sure.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. But I've been using that to work on this. So.
Yeah, those look good.
Right? I just need to figure out how I'm going to attach it to the bra now. Would contact cement be an appropriate adhere?
Probably. Contact cement's flexible enough that should work.
Because I was thinking about, like, if I stitched it in...
That would be my first thing to go to.
Right? Because I was thinking if I stitched it in or stapled it in, I would be causing holes in the...
In the foam.
In the foam, and then also cutting it with the thread.
Yeah, basically.
So it made no sense to, like, try and stitch it in or stab it in.
Well, this is thick enough you could probably get away with stitching it, but...
Again, it's still, like, it's cutting it with dental floss in a weird way. You know what I mean? Like,
totally.
So I was thinking about gluing it into place, but...
I think, contact cement gluing it in place would be great. Gluing a curved object on top of a curved object that is then worn over a curved object. I'm not quite sure how to go about gluing them together. So they're on straight. They're not on crooked.
Okay, I did pattern this. So.
Okay.
Hold on. All right, everybody. This is...
All right. It's just a top, whatever.
Yeah.
It's a piece of cloth.
So this is the exact same curve as the wire right here.
Oh, okay.
So it fits like it was made for it, because it kind of was.
Right.
And then this is the same curve.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
So it really
just... So all you have to do is mark... you have extra foam you probably don't want to put glue on. So you just want to mark where the cup is, and then you could put glue on the cup and glue on the inside of the foam, only where they go together, and that way this is still just plain foam and not...
Yeah. I was thinking about painting this first, though.
Sure, I wouldn't put paint where the glue's going to go.
Yeah, because then you're putting a layer between your foam
exactly,
and the
and
paint.
you're just going to dissolve the paint.
Okay. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense, but I just have some... This is just a project I was working on, and... Anyways.
This is one you started a while ago, too.
Yeah, it was about a year ago, because I was using your
the
laser cutter.
Yeah, which...
The one without the...
The 5-watt without... And
the air assist.
The name of that one, because it was the first one I had on my channel.
Yeah.
The black one. Yeah.
Yeah.
It works.
It works. It works.
It does work. It's great.
But anyways, I'm working on this one.
Okay.
So, I was going to steal some Plasti Dip.
Yeah, that's fine. Plasti Dip. Hey!
Plasti Dip, working on that project. It's coming together slowly, but now that it's like not fighting the head and the bit.
Yeah, hopefully you're
be a
not
lot
fighting the head
easier.
and the bit anymore. You're welcome to keep that part if you ever, for some crazy...
Decide to try and make it work again.
Right, you got it, because,
Yeah.
And I'm glad you heard the foot pedal works.
Oh,
And it's
I love
interesting
the foot pedal.
to me that it's got a safety, so you got to toe the safety down, right?
You kick it to push it, yeah.
You just kick it to push it? Okay.
Yeah, no, I love
Oh,
that.
right. There it is.
Here, you put it on, yeah. You can really control the speed, so when I get
Quite a bit. It's interesting how it's kind of offset a little bit.
I think it may be the head, because I was dealing with that.
Okay, but as it speeds up, either I'm not seeing it
Or it goes so fast that you can't see it anymore.
Yeah.
But I
Well-
think it is the head itself is a little offset, because I was dealing with that.
Okay.
But I like that I can get slower when I'm trying to get into this area, and then I can go faster when I'm like really digging through.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
I was sitting outside on the bench getting really comfortable, and this is great because I can do it outside because there's no cords.
Right.
Yeah.
And the battery lasts a long time?
I'm almost embarrassed that my battery's all nasty.
Yeah, whatever. I thought it was just dust. Is that
No,
just...
that is mud.
That's mud. Oh, you're sitting outside.
No,
Oh,
no.
you're working with it.
No, this was from a different project. So my wood floors
Oh,
had
right.
that tile with the mud on top of it.
Oh, okay.
And I had attached a drill with a soft scrubby head.
Okay.
And I got all that mud off of there. And
Nice.
so it,
Whatever.
coated everything in mud. So now my battery, I can tell it's mine.
Because
It's all muddy.
it's all mud. Does it still light up?
Yeah.
Yeah, nice. Okay.
So it needs to get charged, but...
Yeah, it's fine. That'll still last a while.
Right? No. I totally went through like 4 batteries.
Yeah.
Two per seashell so far.
Oh, okay.
2 batteries per seashell. But then I'm also going like, I don't know, not conserving battery, that's for sure.
Yeah, why?
Right. I have 2, like one's charging while I'm using one, and then I switch and switch and switch,
Mm-hmm.
But yes, no, I definitely really like this. Like the presser pedal, I feel like makes this more accessible to me, because the rotary tool is a little bit too, like you said, you gouge things, you make these stupid
Right.
mistakes, and it's a little frustrating when you're trying to figure it out and you're not quite knowing what you're doing as much. You know what you want, but you don't know how to make it happen.
Right.
But I feel like I got a whole lot more control using the foot pedal, because I could go slow, I could go fast. And
That's really cool.
Yeah. Like,
Yeah.
And I could just like, while I was sitting there controlling it.
I have yet to actually work with one.
Because I stole your foot pedal.
That's okay. I was happy to give it to you because I'm not used to it at all. I'm used for decades. It's been rotary tool, turn it on, okay, go, and that I'm used to that motion, so it's not that big of a deal.
And I'm just like, I can control the speed, I can go faster, I can go slower, and
Yeah.
so I was enjoying using the foot and this thing, and yes, because I got a different one, the first set.
The first one, yeah.
And I didn't hate it. I liked it. It was
Okay.
good. But this, I love.
Yeah, the newer ones are the newest. The newest Ryobi rotary tools are definitely a far cry better than the first round they came out with. And this particular one is actually designed to hang, which I thought was really cool.
Yeah, but I just been sitting outside
Yep.
on my little swing.
And this is the one that I used for the Emmy project. A lot. There's a lot. I mean, I use it for a lot of things, but...
I'm comparing.
Oh, sure.
Yes.
So this is built specifically to be a desktop. It still has a couple of things to hang with, right? So you can hang it on the wall.
Mount it.
You can mount it. But, yeah. And...
Do you like this?
yeah. There's the difference between the two. I do like the metal handle, right? Because this has got substance to it. It's like holding a lightsaber. This plastic handle is considerably lighter weight, and I think this cable is more flexible.
Yeah, the cable's significantly more flexible. I was like, oh, wow.
And actually, at Folsom Lake College, Cameron was he's the shop foreman there, was helping with the Emmy project.
Yeah.
He took this thing and thought it was great, and then hooked like a luggage, like a purse strap here, and just hung it like a satchel around his neck.
Oh, so he
because
was
could walk
wearing
around.
it.
Yeah, he was just wearing it. And it was like, oh, I actually took a picture of that and sent it to Ryobi. He's like, this is great.
That's brilliant. I know that I had to make sure that my hair was up.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do.
Yeah, I was like, I can't have this hair hanging down here while I'm using a rotary tool, that's for sure.
I think I've told this. Hey, we're talking about PPE and dangers. We'll open Plasti Dip, honest. We're talking about PPE and dangers, right? So in the 90s, I had a couple of friends. It was Indy and Bevan. I knew them through Play Incorporated. Indy worked there. Bevan was just the roommate who she also worked with, and he did Renaissance fairs and did walking sticks and pipes and all sorts of carved wood things. The bone pen that I put on the magic spell book was something that Bevan had made. Anyway, he was done with whatever crazy lathe thing he just finished, and he was really happy with it. And hey, his phone takes pictures now, or he had a camera or whatever. Bevan also had a long braided goatee. So he gets down close to the wood lathe, which thankfully is winding down, and goes, okay. And his beard got caught. Click! And then he... Thankfully, because it was winding down and it wasn't on, it was just inertia, it didn't tear his beard off. It didn't tear his skin or anything. It didn't tear his face off. But he got his beard caught in the lathe and had a camera.
So it's all recorded.
Yeah, so he's got a picture of it. But, oh, yeah.
Yeah.
The thought of, because if it was at full torque, that'd be a very different picture.
No, I definitely had my hair up while I was working with this.
Yeah, so long hair. Because at the time, he brought the whole thing up because at the time I had long hair. My hair was not as long as yours, but I had long hair. And yeah, it was definitely something you need to be aware of.
Yes, but I genuinely love this tool, like especially for foam smithing.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, I have a weirdly specific, like in my head.
Yep. Mm-hmm. I know Harbor Freight Tools sells some slightly different head sizes. Some are more cone.
Yeah.
They're like those
I was
work
noticing
really well.
you had those on yours.
Yeah.
You have the cone and the ball and...
Oh, right. Yeah, these are all from Harbor Freight.
Yeah, these ones.
So the ball and the cone both, because they're still just grinding stones. And here's the cylinder one that Joe really likes, and Ted actually likes because it's got a divot in the inside. So if you're very careful while it's spinning and touch it to the foam, you make a rivet.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, there's a little like set rivet.
Yeah, I was going to try and use one of these ones, but then I realized that's just going to give me like harsh cut lines.
Yeah.
And you like told me to use this one.
Yep.
And so I used...
This is the sanding. This is one of those sanding cylinders. So it's a rubber mandrel that's the little sleeve slips over. This thing will just chew the heck out of the foam.
Which would take it down really quickly.
Yeah.
Which is when I was doing the edges because we marshmallow toasted them.
Yep. Yes,
those were significantly harder than the rest of the foam.
Yes, it would be.
Because it gave it a nice plastic barrier.
Yes, it was crispy.
Yeah, like this one I got really well, but this one I think there's still. See right here?
Oh, yeah.
It's crispy, where I just...
Yeah.
This part doesn't...
It'll Plasti Dip okay.
Yeah, no, I know.
You still might get a little bit of this texture coming through, but it's a shell.
I don't hate it. It's a seashell. They're allowed to have texture, I'm just saying.
Yeah.
As long as they look cartoony in the end, that's the important part. But that, like, this took forever on it, and I just kind of wanted to use the other one just to get it done quickly.
Right.
And then go over it and smooth it out nicely with the other one. But because I couldn't change the head, I just was like, at least I got the one I'm supposed to get on. And then once I got through that layer of crunchiness or just that barrier.
Right, the crust, yeah.
The crust, the membrane. Then it went a whole lot smoother. And I feel like I could still go a little bit further, but I was kind of secretly afraid that I was, like...
Getting too much... Because you got some separation happening with the contact cement seam.
Yeah.
Which, not an issue. I mean, it is an issue. That's pretty normal.
Yeah.
So we got some 12 millimeter foam, so it's got some good strength tension to it on a compound curve, and it's causing the seams to open up because of just tension. And when you put Plasti Dip over it, Plasti Dip has the same base solvent that contact cement does, so it'll make it open up even more. So if you want to run super glue onto this, or a little bit of hot glue and smear it so it's not a bead.
I was worried that the hot glue wouldn't be able to grind.
When you're ready to Plasti Dip.
Okay, when I'm ready to.
When you're ready to Plasti Dip, yeah, don't do it before you grind, because super glue also will make that crusty. That it becomes harder to grind down. Either those, even white glue, anything that becomes a barrier between this tension contact cement that's separating, and when you're going to go to, can we see the?
Yeah, you can. Oh, here's a really good seam, right. This one right here.
Okay, yeah. Because, I mean, I know most of you guys know what we're talking about, but when she put this together, I'm sure it was a perfect fit. But because of the compound curve of the Flight of the Navigator ship shape, it's causing this outside edge to open up. So the insides are all still good. They're all still sealed.
Yeah.
But that's just the nature of the tension.
And then I'm straight up grinding right on top of my seams.
Right. But when you spray Plasti Dip over it, it'll make it open up more.
Yeah, that's what I didn't want to do. So
Eileen's tacky glue, white glue, smooth down smooth down hot glue, super glue, acrylic paint, anything to keep the solvent from hitting this, and it won't get worse when you're putting Plasti Dip on it.
That's good to know. I'm glad you warned me, because I was seeing that as an issue, but then going, well, we'll find out, because originally I had this all glued together with rubber cement.
Oh, right.
And that's not good.
Not strong enough. Yeah.
No, that stuff's great for photos.
Yes. It'll probably be great to skin these, but...
No, it did not hold
Okay.
the tension. Like, it popped right apart. It was like, there's no way this is going to do the seam, so I stole some more of your glue. That's
fine.
why I stole it, because
Yeah.
I needed it, and now... Yes.
Yes, now it's working.
All the little problems, right?
Right. And again, this is 12 millimeter foam, so this is thicker than what we usually working with.
Yeah.
If I remember right.
Yeah, so. But I wanted it cartoony.
Sweet.
So. Yes. Okay.
Okay.
Wow, we got a lot of talking while we were talking. I was finally caught up, and now I'm not. But thank you. I love these problems. These are good problems.
Yes. Welcome to the Odin Makes and Behind the Scenes Fashions Tangent Show. Today we're going to talk about... No, we're going to change that. Now we're going to talk about...
Well, it is 119.
Oh, okay. Do we want to open up a box and see what Plasti Dip sent us?
Yes.
Because apparently it's their 50th anniversary.
Yes.
I'll use my Ryobi branded knife.
Hold on one second. I'm like burning up out of heat now. It was freezing in here. Now it's not.
Right. I had a little fan blowing. I was told, no, we don't want... No, it's fine. I don't care.
I was like, we are turning this off because there's dust everywhere and I'm over it.
Oh, it was more the dust than, anything
Yeah,
else.
it was like,
Yeah.
I know
That's
for
fine.
comfort, but whatever.
No, that's great. You had a sweater on.
I did.
Which I don't blame you, because usually this place has got the temperature of a crypt.
I know, but now it's hot.
Yep. All right.
Back into the summer weather.
What will you create today? A live stream.
We're trying.
We're trying.
Oh, look it.
Wow, okay. So, what have we got?
Plasti Dip brand.
Plasti Dip branded. Is that the, there's a newer type of blue tape that is actually stretchy?
Is it stretchy?
Or is it?
No.
It's paper. Okay.
It's a good paper
Still.
tape.
It is a good paper tape. It's a great paper dip because it says Plasti Dip on it.
Right?
We've got... I don't know what this is. Like a chamois? What is this?
It's a rag that you can hook. Probably to your belt. It's a tie! It looks like a rag for your belt, where you hook it on your belt, and then you could...
Right, but I'm wondering if it isn't like a polishing rag or something. That's interesting.
It does have a waffle cone texture.
Promotional products. All right.
Maybe it'll tell us in the paperwork.
Oh, there's paperwork.
Prep your surface. Hold, let surface dry. Scan for inspiration. Ooh, I like what they did with the little kitchen tools. I would have never thought.
Interesting.
But that's its original purpose, isn't it? Handles and grips.
Oh, it was the handles, not the section they're putting into the... Yes, the original version of Plasti Dip, because my dad had some in his garage. I remember playing with it. It came in like a Pringles can, or like a can that tennis balls or racquetballs comes in. And you pop the top off of it, and you literally dip the tool into it and let it set up, and then dip it again. And as a way of putting your own custom soft grip on hard metal tools, right? This was its original intention. At some point in time, when I wasn't paying attention, they came out with aerosol cans. And now we can just go into a big box hardware store, pretty much all of them, and you can buy Plasti Dip as an aerosol and spray it. And yeah, this works really well for covering UVA foam. I had known about it. I first found out about Plasti Dip for using it over foam was actually working on my friend's a channel called Beyond Geek. There were a bunch of LARPers for Belagarth who were making their shields, and this one guy made a big war door shield. So this is a like meter tall, half a meter wide, big square shield, and he had a face hugger design put on it. It kind of just looked like a bunch of bones put together to look like a face hugger. And he had a YouTube channel, I think. It could have been older than that, but I don't think it was. And he showed, I made all this stuff. I made it from yoga mats and from floor mat foams, he said. And then he painted it with a thinned version of the stuff in the can to give it a really hard, surface, right? So he thinned that with naphtha. And then came back with the aerosol afterwards and gave it 2 coats of aerosol spray over the top of it, which dissolved the brush marks and made it very smooth and glossy.
Interesting.
Because it's all that similar solvent thing. So when I made the super suit for Beyond Geek, that's how I finished the outside of the super suit. It was all Plasti Dip. It was just black Plasti Dip, no paint. And it was done that way with a thin stuff first. Is that the
one where I stole the helmet from?
Yep.
Okay, sorry. I was trying to picture your look. Yeah. Okay.
Because it had chest armor and such. We tried to make like a real world superhero where he actually had some workable things. Like the gloves were puncture resistant, needle resistant. They had knuckle protection on the backside. We put strips of fiberglass into his forearms, so he actually had a little bit of like a
do some
blocking
damage if he punched you.
It was more like he had the ability to protect himself.
Okay.
Right, like something was swung
more
at him.
Defensive than offensive.
That was defensive. Okay. Yeah, and then he had tactical pants that had like a first aid kit on it, stuff like that. But the foam bits on it were all done with a yoga mat, and in order to paint it, I did it with this Plasti Dip. And that was also when I was finding out the real problem we just talked about with the aerial cups is the compound seams were opening up with the plastic with contact cement, and so I ended up with a hot glue gun coming along and putting a quick bead of hot glue and then label backing from like a postage like a shipping label, but it was the smooth part, the paper part. I would lay that down immediately on top of the hot glue. And then when it cooled, I could peel it off, and it was all smooth with everything else, right? Because I've forced it to be smoothed out. And then Plasti Dip over that worked just fine because I had a barrier. Yeah. Anyway.
Chemicals.
Complicated. But it worked, and the suit looks great in the show.
Oh, you have a bunch of colors. I like the sparkly blue.
Ooh, look at this.
Sparkle, luxury metal.
Ooh.
Multi-purpose rubber coating. Ooh, I like the shiny blue. It's like my favorite color. My dad had a Bel Air this color.
Oh, okay.
The car.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm like...
No, it's fine. It's totally fine. I'm paying attention.
Yeah.
There's like 3. These are all the new plastic. Well, I don't know if they're new. I think they're new. They're new to me. Plasti Dip luxury metal, peelable, multi-purpose rubber coating. And then it says it again in French. Mm-hmm. Because there's been a big, and this is all marketed towards cars. Because there's been one of the big things that happened with the Plasti Dip was because they started selling it in gallons. You can't get that in California, but you can buy it by the gallon, and then you thin it and spray your car with it. And it's a way of protecting the paint and getting like a custom paint job you can just remove. And so
this stuff is really fun to peel off.
Yeah, and it peels off cars and paints really well.
Peeled off the shoes after I was done with it. I wasn't expecting that, but I kind of was excited, and it was really fun to just pick at.
It literally says "dip your ride" on it.
Yes.
Yeah, this is cool. This is interesting. This one's weird to me because it's such a primer. It's still got the sparkle effect to it.
Right? I'm wondering what color they actually spray out because, the plastic lids are not always exactly the same shade as the spray paint, even though they like you to think it is.
It says Volcano Red Metallic is the color name on that one. Volcano Red. Okay. It looks terracotta to me. Ultrasonic Blue Metallic. Yeah, which is really good. And this one's Black Sapphire Metallic. And then this is a fun one I have used a couple of times, although they've renamed it. This is Glossy. Is this Black Glossy? Oh, it's Black Glossy. So this is actually black. They've sold a top coat called Glossifier because you get kind of a satin finish with Plasti Dip. And so I've used the Glossifier, which then gives you a glossy coat, right? Mm-hmm. Especially on the Gundam, we use a lot of the Glossifier to put the water slide decals on and then sealed over the decals again.
Okay, yeah.
But this is kind of cool. This is just a black paint that's actually glossy.
Question, you had mentioned using a white Plasti Dip.
Yes, they sell it in white too. White is interesting. White is the most sensitive to temperature, both the temperature of the can and the outside air temperature. It will come out like popcorn sealing sometimes, which is, can feel very devastating.
You're committed to the texture at that point.
Pretty much, except that I found that, by using naphtha or xylene, again, chemicals that are really hard, impossible to get in California. Thank you, California. It's like using an acetone. You want to put your protective gloves on, you get a little bit of this chemical on a paper towel, and then you can practically sand it back down. You can take that texture off. You can spread the Plasti Dip around. And that I have solved many bad white sprays using that idea.
Right, Raider Willie says, for California, I've gotten some.
Yes, you can still find it. It was about 2 years ago that apparently a lot of these got to where you couldn't easily get them in California anymore. And what the ruling was that the shops could sell what they had, but they couldn't sell anything new. So it's not illegal to have, and it's not illegal to use, it's illegal to sell.
Makes sense.
Yeah, so I go to Reno. Because that's about a 2-hour drive to Reno and buy it by the gallon.
Oh, there you go.
Yep, problem solved. This is cool.
Yeah.
This is neat.
Now you have Plasti Dip brand blue
Plasti
tape.
Dip brand blue tape. And then,
That is not a microfiber, but...
Not a microfiber.
No, it's definitely a waffle cone texture. I think it really is to clean up spills and, just really pick it up because... It has that texture.
It seems like such a with the sewn top and everything else, just to pick up a spill. I mean, you're not going to be able to wash it.
Wipe your hands.
Wipe your hands, yeah.
Like as you're doing, because you don't want to have dirty hands while you're working with paints.
Okay.
But that's what I would assume is that you just have it near so you can just get. This is really good for getting it off. It's that texture.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
and actually, Plasti Dip is now sold in craft stores. I don't see it from here, but I found a really good Lego blue that Michaels sells. It's a yellow label, but still basically all the same stuff. This is really cool, Plasti Dip. Thank you.
Yes.
And yes, they do sell a purple.
Yes. Well, I was going to steal your paint to paint the purple, but you had mentioned you did it differently for your last thing you did purple.
Right. The Saints Row the Third Penetrator prop for Smosh. I painted that with white Plasti Dip, and then the purple Blaze, which is kind of a gloss that goes over the white and made it to make it purple. If you want to use the paints, if you want to use the purple, wow, I can't remember what.
Plat Effects paint?
Yes, the Plat Effects paint. Sorry, that was the one I was blanking on. Those poor guys, they sent me stuff too. That will work well, and I haven't got any yet, but Smooth On actually has a new paint that is flexible, bonds to the foam, and is actually scratch resistant. So, yeah, it's actually very promising what they've got.
Nice.
This is cool, though. What's funny is the first thing I see is, oh, it's a Captain America shield. But this isn't quite fire truck red enough, so.
I want to see what that color they actually, like, spray out, you know? But not in here, because that I can smell them from here.
you don't want to breathe that?
Not particularly.
Okay. So this is really cool.
Yes.
And it was just such a weird, like, hey, we want to send you a... Okay.
Yes, please.
Yes, please.
You recommend your product anyway, so...
Right. I've been tagging your product and recommending your product anyway. So, yeah. Cool.
Mm-hmm. Steve D says, Plasti Dip is very expensive here in the UK.
Unfortunately, yeah. Yeah, it's... What is it? It's gone up. It used to be about $6 a can at the big box hardware stores. It's gone up to, I think, $8 now. And to get it at the craft stores, it's $12. So I'm not quite sure what the dollar to euro is right now. But yeah, hopefully it's not.
Tis what it is, right?
Tis what it is, right? FlexiPaint is a UK product, and that one is also supposedly really good. I didn't have the one time I tried using it, because I'm always crunching when it comes time to paint. It didn't cover as well as a Plat Effects paints, and I really haven't gone back to give it a chance again. But I know a lot of people swear by FlexiPaint, and so that's always an option. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Daniel Knight says, I have no problem buying Plasti Dip where I live.
Good. No, I can still get Plasti Dip. We can still walk in and get... It's the base chemicals. If you look at the materials data and safety sheets that come along with... the Plasti Dip, or you have to go online and look for them. Some of the solvents is xylene and naphtha, and those two are some serious chemicals. If you're going to use them, don't spray them on their own. Just don't. You can. You got to take a lot of precautions. That's definitely something you don't want to get on your skin. You don't want to breathe. So you need a vapor respirator mask, not just one of those dust masks. And you're going to want gloves, and you're going to want eye protection, because you don't want this. You use it once, you're going to be okay. It's not like you're going to melt like the guy from RoboCop. But you use this stuff often enough on different projects, it is one of those chemicals that'll build up in your system and could potentially cause problems. So you want to be safe.
Yes. Steve D says it's €19 a tin here in UK.
Okay, yeah, no, that's a lot. Yeah, that would be, that's a lot.
Yep, it's an investment in your project.
Yeah, no, that would be find an alternative, because that's, yeah.
Out of your price point.
Pretty much. I'll go through a can or two on some of these things, and that's, yeah. I wouldn't want to spend €40 on a primer coat.
Yeah, that one lady, I forgot her name, she did all the different base coats for the armor.
Oh, yeah. Was that Kamui? Or who
Yeah.
did that? Okay.
Yeah, and Plasti Dip was the winner of the stress test.
Yeah. So. I'm excited for the new Smooth On paints. Smooth On has, working with Createx and the guy that makes all the Createx airbrush paints, they're making a flexible paint. They're going to sell it by the pint. So instead of the little 2-ounce bottles of craft paint, you're going to get a tin, a pint of it. So it's $20, but by the ounce, it's cheaper. And yeah, it's actually flexible and bonds, and they're still coming out with more colors. They're going to expand the colors. You can thin it with water and spray it. So I haven't got a chance to play with it yet, but Smooth On's come by the shop a couple times to tell me about it. I'm excited to try it out.
Yeah. Danda's Junk says, yeah, the prices has gone high, so when I get whatever is price low, which is why I ended up with a 6-pack of camo green.
Yep. Yeah, I've bought it from Amazon. I've gotten like 12 pack cases because the price point brings it down. So I'm going to use it.
Right? Jerry Ken Cosplay says Plasti Dip's about €10 here in Ireland, but the Polyprops alternative is €7.
Yeah, try to go with the alternative for sure. At least to start with, yeah.
Honestly, sometimes the right product, though, does make a big difference.
It does.
And so for those couple more dollars... Because I learned this the hard way.
What did you learn, Felicia?
Well, remember all those painting of sets we've done?
A few, yes.
A few.
A few.
I would rather spend my money on the paint than the labor it takes to paint it multiple times. So I'd rather get a high-end paint with the primer, like spend my money on a really expensive bucket of paint that's going to get covered in 1-2 coats max, than get the cheapest paint or primer, and then I'm sitting there painting layer after layer, waiting for it to dry, because my time's way more expensive than what it costs to just get the right good base paint. Absolutely. And so for a couple bucks on that price, like that big of a difference, if I know it's going to be an easier job, I'm just going to get the better paint. I've tried to be a cheapskate so many times, it's not worth it. It's always more work. It's always more work, and it's a crappier. Yeah. It looks worse. Like when you're getting all like the thin, cheap paints, they don't look as nice. And that was some of the other paints I mentioned earlier. I won't say it again, but it was going to take multiple passes to do it. Yeah, it was just... So... Yeah. Yeah. It's like one of those things that I hate spending money. I'm a cheapskate. Through and through, to the core. To the core, right. But... I'm budget-minded, cheapskate. Very much. But nice paint's worth it. It is. It's completely worth it. It is, yeah. And one of the reasons why I've always gone back to Plasti Dip is I get a consistent finish with it. And it's an aerosol, and it can dry in 15 minutes. And also, it's durable. Like, with the foam, with the crunching of the foam, the flexibility of the foam, and those minor things... Where regular spray paint just cracks. Right. The Plasti Dip's a solid foundation to get everything built upon, and so so each layer isn't getting on. Right. Yeah, because acrylic paints paint right over Plasti Dip really well and stick to it really well. I'm not having big issues with. I mean, are there issues? Sure, paint's paint, but I'm not having major issues of the paint cracking or peeling off of the Plasti Dip. Yeah, the acrylics anyway. Yeah. So. Yeah. Stressors. Horrible situations. We'll call it experience. Experience! Experience has taught me that, you know what? Good paint's worth it. Yeah, good paint is worth it. Absolutely. I saw there was a lot of people chiming in with you talking about this. There was a lot of chat motion happening over there. Right? Okay, we got a lot. Uh-huh. Which is cool. Oculus Orbius at Odin Makes, of all the electric tools you use, is there any you dislike using? Oh! That I would have to have that I would actually have to think about. Okay. Because if I dislike using them, then I don't use them. I was disappointed. It's experience. I was disappointed using the wood lathe when I finally got a hold of one. Because I want to use this thing. I've been excited about lathes since I watched my dad use one and hook it all up and use it and go, oh wow, this isn't doing what I want at all. But that's I didn't want to spend the job. Wasn't the right tool for what I was trying to do, and I didn't want to spend the time learning how to use the tool. So it's operator as much as anything else. Oh, what do I have that I just dislike using? I'll think about it. Go ahead and move on. Dan This Junk says, yes, grinding stones are for fine tuning and cleaning up. I liked using the grinding stone. Daniel Knight says, yeah, you get the idea on what... I get the idea of what you mean by those things. I think that axe is going to be all mint green color. I saw the image on Google Images before. Okay. Cool. Schultz Division's late, but it's finally here. Welcome. Oh, hey, Schultz. Had a lot of fun playing Among Us with Schultz on Friday. Go to Lope says, hey, Odin and Alicia. It's Felicia, but it's okay. I'll answer to it. I've had friends that named Alicia before. Yeah. Quite a few. I'm not sure on the electric tools that I don't like. I'm trying to remember. Steve D says, we had a fun game on Friday. Yes, we did. Had enough people, we actually played the classic game. I know there's been some like wood burners and things that I tried using I didn't care for.
I bought a really cheap rotary tool from Harbor Freight Tools, and that was a one and done. Screw this thing. There was. Sorry.
No, it's okay.
There was a Chinese-made CNC machine that got sent to me to do a review video for. And I remember pulling this thing out of the box and putting it together and trying to make it work, and it didn't. And so Shop Grumman at the time was like, I'll give it a shot. It's like, yeah, please, here. Because Shop Grumman's worked with CNC machines before, right? He's got experience with them, knows how to make them, has got the right program. Anyway, here you go. Yeah, week and a half later, I get a 5-page write-up of this thing. And all sorts of pictures and a really good in-depth, this is what I had to do in order to make it almost work. It is a boat anchor. This thing is not impressive. It is a desktop. It's like the size of a loaf of bread, and it's all it had to do was make a damn belt buckle, and it couldn't do it.
Yeah.
And it wasn't cheap.
Zenato Garza Jr. I can butcher anyone's name.
Huh?
Says, haven't tuned in a while. Great to see you again, Odin.
Thank you, Zenato.
Zenato. I don't know.
It's like a tornado, but a tornado of Zen. So it's a tornado of calm. Zenato.
Bernie Davis. Smooth on. Apply directly to the forehead.
That's right. Smooth on. Apply directly to the forehead. Hey, so this is kind of what the face of the Emmy was done with. This was a test one we did. And, yeah, this is the Epsilon we use, which was applied directly to her forehead. And, yeah.
Yeah.
It's tough. It was great.
Right.
And it gives a good gloss. So if she was really smooth to begin with, and I actually did like 2 smooth layers instead of one gloppy one, yeah, it would have been great.
Offer Smoky says, Plasti Dip is very popular in the automotive world as well. I think it's it is popular in the automotive world, and we've just kind of used it for the cosplay world.
Yeah, I think it's kind of the way it goes. Yeah. It was very much a tool covering, and I think the automotive world is really what got it going.
Right.
Yeah, and then like rest of cosplay, we just adopted it because
I just treat Home Depot as my arts and crafts
absolutely.
store.
Yep. Yeah, I don't care what they sell because I'm not going to use it for its intended purposes. Almost, guaranteed.
Ever. I laugh. Sometimes I'm going in there with like a weirdly specific thing that I'm looking for. I'm like in the chains or the cords, and they're like,
Right.
"Well, let me help you. What are you trying to do?" Well, I need this texture for this.
Yeah, exactly. So what I've gotten used to with all those friendly guys that try to help, all the friendly employees at all the big box stores, Home Depots especially, hey, what can I help you find? I'm trying to find a thing for an art project. They all go, okay, good luck with that. Art project is a really good one to really diffuse the, But I am lucky, though, the one close by over here has got a viewer. So I can actually more delve into, I'm trying to find the adjustment knob for a containment unit that I can use, but it needs to be a thing. It goes, oh, okay. And he, so it's great when you get someone who knows.
Right. Jerry Karen Cosplay says, Steve, Polyprops is a cosplay site based in the UK. Their alternative is basically like Plasti Dip. So
Yes.
UK, it's ridiculously expensive, but Ireland is way cheaper. Interesting.
Yeah, and I've heard of Polyprops. Yeah. The other one was Tigers. They wanted me to sell the paints. tyges.co.uk. So it's like Tigger almost, but it's TYGES. It's cursive and not easy to see on the pencil, or I would show you guys. But yeah, this was another company that sells the FlexiPaint.
Good to know. We got Web Slinging Vernon saying hi, and the real Malky saying hi, everybody. Web Slinging Vernon wants to know, what is the longest prop you have made? Would that be Puppy? No.
Sorry, what was the question?
What's the longest prop you ever made?
Longest prop. So what's going to be the definition of longest? Because you immediately go for something that's 6 feet long or 8 feet long,
Well, I'm thinking
or
of
one
your
that took me the longest to do.
Or the
Well, Mechagodzilla tail was only like 3 or 4 feet long.
Okay, well, from head to toe.
Head to toe, Godzilla is 7 feet.
Okay, but is that shorter than that? And then you also made a grass wheel, which was giant.
The grass wheel was giant, yeah.
I don't know.
That is grass wheel is definitely a prop way more than like the Bridge of the Enterprise, which is kind of a set. It's not really a prop.
The grass wheel is definitely a prop, but I don't feel like it's long because it's circular, but it's huge.
I wonder if long is supposed to be length of time.
Sword. Oh, length of time, and I'm going for physical.
Right, but no, you're fine. I'm trying to think what else have I done that's been actually long. It's going to have to be a Smosh thing because I can't think of anything in here that is much longer than 8 feet.
The Anthony crate.
The Anthony crate, yeah, that'd be a prop. That was 7 feet again.
Was that taller than the grass wheel?
Grass wheel is closer to 8 if I remember right.
Okay, there you go. Then.
The Anthony crate was great. So we had to the Smosh script was Ian orders a new robotic Anthony friend, and so he arrives in a house in this crate. He opens up and Anthony comes out of it. So I made a wooden crate and then made a cutout out of foam, like a new piece of equipment, right? That
had an Anthony shape in it.
Yes, nestle right into. Well. Anthony wasn't there for the build, right? He didn't see it until he got there on set. So I actually looked up on the Smosh wiki how tall Anthony was, and then had a stand-in, got his dimensions, got a stand-in to trace it, and cut the whole thing out. So on set, Anthony backed into it and apparently fit nearly perfectly. And he's like, how did he get this right? And Lindsay was there, and she says, oh, he looked it up on Smosh Wiki. And apparently that freaked him out more than anything else.
Right? Danda's Junk wants to know, would it be a good idea to apply Smooth On to my Gundam to make it durable?
Possibly, yeah. I have a lot of it here because I bought some, and then I got some stuff that kicks off really quickly that I got from a friend from the state. So if you want to try some of this stuff that I've got, you're welcome to, Dan. Come on up. I'll give you a chunk of it. It's a weird mixture of 20% activator to or 20 parts activator to 100 parts resin. It's an older product, but it still works. And it's only got like a 5-minute pot life, so you don't get to go very, very far with it. But it could. What I don't know, what I haven't tried with, is how well it bonds to EVA foam. Because I've only done it to the porous foam. I haven't done it to a non-porous. So I don't know how well it's going to stick.
Good point.
But
could
Smooth
do a
On
sample.
Could do a sample. Totally, and should. But Smooth On has made one ultra something or other that's for EVA foam. Smooth On is definitely trying to make more. They're interested in more crafters and makers, right? Which they'd always had, but they're definitely going that route more. And so they're looking at cosplay as one of the groups they're focusing on.
Nice. Sean Clark says, I had fun explaining to the guys at Home Depot that I was making a fake fire extinguisher.
Yes.
I've had many of those encounters.
Yep.
Yeah.
I got a new viewer once I got to the register. She's like, all right, so what are you making today? Face hugger. What? At least you knew what it was, right?
Yeah, there's the one time where it's like, oh, a dress.
Yeah, a dress. Yeah.
A dress.
I'm making a dress.
I'm just making a dress.
I'm making a diving helmet.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm making a big rubber phallus that we're not going to be able to show on screen anyway.
That thing right there.
That thing right over there. Yeah, that's...
Anyways.
Yeah.
They blurred it out in the episode, though.
They had to. They pixelated it. Yeah.
Which that thing funny. Is vulgar.
It's supposed to be. Well, it is. It's
right.
The Penetrator for Saints Row the Third. Go Google it.
That's okay. They had to blur out the cat costume.
Oh. Because it was anatomically correct.
Well, he was supposed to be licking himself. It was the whole point of the scene.
Right. So they blurred it. Yeah.
Anyways, that was fun. We have DJ Stumpy saying howdy doodly, everybody. Anybody
Hello.
like some toast? Like any toast?
Hello, DJ Stumpy. Yes, toast would be great. You know what I haven't had in a long time? Cinnamon toast.
Ew. No, I don't not like it. It's just, I'd rather have buttery toast. I'm not a sweet.
Oh, that's fine.
I'm not a savory. I'm not a sweet things for breakfast kind of a person.
Okay.
Yeah. Schultz Vision saying, remember to leave a like on the stream.
Remember to leave a like on the stream. If you like this kind of content, please subscribe because Odin Makes will be coming back to the live stream again in 2 weeks. And at some point in time, when the planets align, there'll be a new weekly video.
Eventually. Ricky Wyatt says, Plasti Dip here in Canada is $30 a can with tax. I stopped using it.
Yeah, I would too.
Yeah.
I'm not going to lie. Warbler is a fantastic product. Warbler does a lot and is really cool. Warbler is outside of my creative price range.
Exactly.
And that would happen with that Plasti Dip too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's out of my crafting abilities now. Yeah. Crafting pricing abilities. DJ Stumpy says, I've tried Flexi Paint from Tyga Supplies. Is that how you say it?
Yeah. Tyga Supplies, yeah.
Yeah. Very good stuff, can be airbrushed, I believe. However, I've only tried airbrush, which I need to practice and get the smooth look. Yeah.
Yeah.
That takes skills.
Yeah. Someone is asking me about tools that are electric that I don't use. Airbrush is one of them. I have used it. I like it, but it is one of those slightly finicky, almost more patience than I have to use tools. So I just try not to airbrush anymore. And another one that got brought was soldering
iron. We're going to try and airbrush this, though, right?
Yes, we're going to try and airbrush this, but my intention was to use, it's actually called a touch-up gun, so it's like a larger airbrush. Okay. That's what I use to paint Godzilla with. Okay. Because now I've got macro-sized pieces that I can actually, I can work with this. I'm not working with a hypodermic needle and, it's clogged because, I looked at it funny.
Makes sense.
And then soldering iron, and the whole soldering thing is another one of those electric tools that I'm not that good with.
I'm really excited about that wireless one, though.
Yeah.
Like, I want to use that one. Yeah. You got a noodle.
I grabbed a pool noodle. We were talking about something else that just made me think of it, but I don't remember now. I think it had to do with the Emmy project, ultimately. But I found a wonderful way to be able to sand something. And I took different sizes of pool noodles and with sewing pins, just pinned sandpaper to the pool noodle. And on that really soft, rigid foam, this became a great way to sand in all the organic shapes and whatnot, because it would give, but it didn't gouge the foam, right? It wasn't, because I have sanding sponges that are designed to help you sand stuff flat.
But they have these edges.
But they have edges, and nothing on the Emmy is flat. So, yeah, it just happened to. It's one of those necessities. Like, well, will this work? And yeah, it did. And I also ended up taking a bit of copper pipe and wrapped sandpaper around it and taped it on there. So now I had a smaller rod that I could get into places and just sanding stuff. Totally off topic, but I was seeing them here on the side of the table, and I was really happy with a pool noodle sanding sponge. Yes.
Danda's Junk said, went to Ace Hardware explaining to the employees I was looking for components to make lightsabers. Yep. Oculus Orbius says, at DJ Stumpy, can I ask how Tyus foam stacks up against polyprops, if you know?
I don't. I haven't. Dropped it.
DJ Stumpy has not used polyprops either, so.
Yeah, I haven't used polyprops foam. I haven't used the Tigers foam, because it would cost more to have them shipped here to me than to use the stuff that's available domestically.
Bernie Davis says Warbler is very pricey. Yes. Yeah. I've only used it for that one project.
Right.
And I haven't had a need for it since, because it's out of my price point for any convenience.
I know Hendo loves it, and she does great stuff with it, but Yeah. Got a little bit here because Michaels carried it for a brief time, and then they blew it out. They did a closeout on it. So I ended up getting it like half off. It's like, okay, great. So
But then it's like, wait, I have to save it for the good project.
Exactly. I don't know how to use it that well, so I'm not going to just...
I need a project worthy of my Warbler.
Right.
Yeah, no, I get it.
Very much so.
Oculus Orbulus says, Tyga seems cheaper than PP, but I'm not sure on how dense it is. Okay.
Cool.
Dan does junk. Can I get a nice loud eventually from you, too?
Eventually.
Eventually. Leah Marie says, thank you, Pool Noodle.
Thank you, Pool Noodle.
Yes. Jerry Can cosplay. Note to self. Steal the sanding idea from Odin.
Yes, please do. That's why I wanted to share it. And that was just basic sandpaper with, quilting pins. And it actually worked surprisingly well. Yeah.
The right tool makes the job significantly easier, but you have to know how to use the tool.
Yeah, and there's another tool I'm learning how to use.
Which one?
That's the new ones that I bought from that YouTube channel I talked about that I liked. This is more of a toy. This is not a new hobby necessarily that I'm trying to get into, because this is going to be way deeper rabbit hole than I care to go with. But I've talked about a particular YouTube channel that I've enjoyed watching now for a couple of years, the Lockpicking Lawyer. And on a whim, I went ahead and went to his website, Covert Instruments, and I'm like, oh, they got that for $10? Sure. So that arrived this week.
You got one of the clear practice ones?
It's a clear plastic padlock, yeah. Which is
so
really,
you can practice your lock-picking skills?
basically, it gives you a basic idea. There isn't
you can
this
level
isn't a
up.
terribly complicated lock, but
Camera
yeah,
too?
it's a padlock, but it's totally clear plastic, so you can see all the inner workings of how the tumblers and the keys work. So, you rear key. And then it's just, it's a lock. Hey, look, I showed how a lock works. But the set wasn't just a lock. It also came with a couple of picks and a turning tool, which is in this case.
So you could practice with the...
Yeah, so you have a basic like lock pick. So this is this thing you're always breaking in Skyrim.
This is... I was going to
And
say
then-
Oblivion when I was a little
Yeah.
kid. I used to break those things all the time.
All the time. And then this one's called a wave rake.
Yeah.
And then it has the turning tool. These are things he's talking about all the time. And so you take your 40,000 turning tool, put it at the top of the keyway, and give it the tiniest bit of tension. There's like none really needed. And then it's just, can I make it work?
You are not the lock-picking lawyer, just
I
in
am
case
not.
anyone's asking.
I am not! Now I'm trying to do this, and it's not going. I'm turning the right way, right? There, no. Anyway. Yes, it does work. And what's funny is the first couple times I did it, it like went immediately and went, yeah, okay. As he says, this is a low-skilled attack. So it's just one of those, it's a weird little toy, and it was actually a lot of fun to... The other day, I had this with me in my work backpack, and I was stuck waiting for a file to upload. And I got to play with this for a little bit. It's like, okay, sure, I would be willing to try and play with a master lock and see, but this is.
I watch his channel going, yeah, I could do that with the reality.
Right. Well, there's a lot of stuff with this channel. It's like, yeah, no, I'm not going to bother, because there's a lot of skill and practice going into that. But the more he talked about, the wave rake and everything else, like, okay, sure, I want $10. Lunch costs more. I can spend that on some toys and have some fun.
You're learning a new skill. You're upgrading your lockpick.
Picking skills, yes. So now I've got a level 1 lock picking skill, because
Unlocked.
I've successfully picked a practice lock a few times with both the pick and the wave rake. Because you go through and you can actually. What's really cheating is I'm so visual and I can actually watch. It's like, oh, okay. So with this particular lock, tumbler number 1 or pin number 1 and pin number 2 are the tough ones to get. Once you got those, everything else almost just falls into place, because they're real close to the keyway moving anyway.
You got a code for $5 off.
I got a code for $5 off the $70 next step up, which now we're entering Warbler prices, and I don't know if I'll bother with that.
Right. Danda's junk. A skillful adult fidget tool.
Yes, a skillful adult. There was I was actually talking about this before. There's a guy named Greg Kreckelberg. He was
That's a fun name, Kruckelberg.
Kreckelberg. Yeah, he was a great guy. Greg was the main mathematician at Play Incorporated. He came up with a lot of the algorithms they were using for doing their video magic that they did. And there was one time I walked by his office, and he literally had a bunch of padlocks in front of him and whatever tools he had. And he would sit there. He was doing math in his head, and to keep his hands busy, he was picking the locks. He would, like a lock, set down, pick up the next one, and do the next one. And then he'd lock them all up and start all over again. And it was just a fidget. Exactly. It was an adult fidget thing for him to do while he was thinking about his math.
Makes a lot of sense.
Yep. And that was the very first person I ever saw actually pick locks. So.
Interesting.
Yep.
There's bolt cutters right there.
There is. Those work really well. Another method that I've seen that works well even on disc locks are just a pair of adjustable wrenches. You get a large pair of those, like adjustable, they're not a crescent wrench, but I guess crescent's a brand name. And you put one around the body, and then you adjust the other one to go around the hasp around the top of the lock, and you can just twist the lock against itself, and it'll shear the pin right off. And if you put the two wrenches close to each other to where you can just squeeze them like pliers, yeah, I've seen disc locks broken that way. And it's just a pair of wrenches. It's not even bolt cutters.
Well, the more you know, right?
Yeah.
Feels very secure.
Oh, very, very secure.
Okay. We are at 2 o'clock exactly.
We are 2 o'clock exactly. And I'm getting lunch requests. So, everyone, we did touch the Ghostbusters thing.
There's a lot to do.
There's a lot. It is intimidating to try and do it and also be hosts.
We have painting. It's the painting.
Yeah. It's...
And it has to spray versus a brush on because the brush strokes.
Right. Yeah. And so we got ourselves in a corner because we have two different materials that need to be painted two different ways, all glued together because I didn't know how to break them apart beforehand. So there's going to be a lot of taping and a lot of covering. And
I didn't help at all.
that's okay. You did. You showed up. Everyone else who showed up, thank you very much. I really appreciated the live stream. Would not be a live stream without viewers. So thank you. Talking to you guys, getting inspired by you guys, helping to brainstorm new ideas with you guys is what keeps us going. So thank you all very much for tuning in and saying hi.
Yes, thank you very much.
Yeah. I didn't know. Was I feeling like you wanted to say something and I just wasn't shutting up in time?
No.
Oh, okay. How about if I just shut up? Everyone will see you in about 2 weeks. Hopefully we'll have a guest. We may not, but if it's possible, Jerry Fail will be here. And yeah.
I will be over on my channel, Behind the Scenes Fashions. I plan on going live next week with my friend Jody coming back.
Oh, sweet.
She was on like a week ago where she did my makeup to make me look like a Barbie doll, the vintage one.
Oh, okay.
She did a really good job. So
she
if you
would.
wanted to... yeah, she
yeah, she
Jody's
would.
amazing. We love her.
Yeah, Jody cuts my hair.
Yes, we love Jody. We'll have to have her eventually, but... So I plan on having her back for another strange project, and I'm still sourcing a suit to rip apart because I wanted to rip apart a suit so we can go through the anatomy of how it's made up. But I have not ethically found a suit yet because I know how much effort and work goes into making a full-blown suit. I don't want to just rip one apart that isn't already dead. It needs to have holes.
Oh, okay.
Or already just, on the end of its life cycle. Just because for somebody who's like spent the effort to make things like this, I don't want to just rip apart a nice one personally.
Right.
Just it hurts too much.
Okay, get it.
So I'm probably going to start with just a t-shirt for the undershirt. And we'll kind of go from there as I find a suit that is appropriate to be torn apart. I'm working on it.
Nice. Like it.
But I'm working on that. The seashells may or may not end up in a video, working on that. And my friend Jody's going to be back. So just check me out on Behind the Scenes Fashions. And
nice. I think the link in the description of this video works now. Because you guys were telling me before it wasn't. I think it is now.
Yes, so thank you guys all for being here. Bernie Davis says, fly me out there and I can help you with those packs.
Sweet.
Right. Danda's Junk Fun stream as always. See you two later. Schultz Vision. Bye everyone. Leave a like on the stream. Offer the severed hand of approval. All hail the algorithm.
All hail the algorithm.
We got the 45th clown saying bye. Thank you, bye. And Big Bob's props. See you then. Daniel Knight and DJ Stumpy also saying goodbye.
Awesome.
Okay.
Thank you all. Thank you all very much. See you in 2 weeks.
2 weeks, right?
Yep.
Here, I'll trade you sides.
Oh, okay.
Oh, you don't have to. Are your toenails painted green?
Yes, that's the best way to end the end the stream. Yes, actually they are.
I just noticed, and
I was having problems with my toenails cracking. Right, they were splitting apart, or the corners would bust off, and it would into the quick and be a problem. So it's like, well, if we put toenail polish on them, they won't do that. So we did some really neutral, natural colors on it, and yeah, I didn't have that problem for the entire time there was. But I was starting to get a pretty good gap of non-toenail polish versus because of growth. A long time. So, time to do it again. All right. It's like, all right, I did a fun color. And I go, yeah, I'm green. So, yes, my toes are green.
the more you know.
Nope, I'm not flexible enough to do that. Yeah, there.
Toenails. 2. Oh, wait, camera 2. And... All right. right, with that, let's get out of here. Don't worry, we're just live.